WebSportsRadio.com, in association with KBFL, proudly presents
1:45 to go on the power play. Here is Barrett across the line. Barrett works it, looking for O'Brien. Instead, Barrett takes it in front. Bratton score!
Missouri State University Ice Hockey.
In all games that have gone into extra time, Missouri State has won. The Ice Bears have won 2 shootouts and an overtime. Here is Josh Bell. Bell right side. Bell looks to the left, goes to the right, score! And he scores himself! And here it is. Hole must score. If Stevens makes the save, Missouri State wins this hockey game. So here is Hole. To the left, wide, waits, he shoots, he misses, and Missouri State has won.
With the call, here's Steve Casson.
And live from Jordan Valley Ice Park and the Stan Melton Ice Arena, it is the final games of the first half of the 2019-20 season for Missouri State as they host Maryville University. Hello everybody, Steve Casson along with Dan Dow as the Ice Bears will face Maryville for the first time as a Division I team. Last season, Missouri State hosted Maryville and they won by scores of 10-1 and 7-1 back on September 7th and 8th of 2018. Travis Barrett leads all Ice Bear active scorers, 4 goals and 1 assist. Jordan Bratton has 5 assists. Josh Bell, who of course, that highlight you just heard was last weekend against Central Oklahoma when Missouri State won in a shootout. But Josh Bell in this series against Maryville has 1 goal and 3 assists. Hunter Cooley and Zane O'Brien have 3 assists each. Missouri State has split the last 3 series against Colorado State, Arizona State, and Central Oklahoma, as I just mentioned. And of course, Dan, the big goal for Missouri State, Josh Bell's shootout goal. And I mentioned he scored and he scored himself, and it was kind of funny, but great camera work. Unfortunately, it froze right at the perfect moment, you know.
The prices you pay of being in the broadcast business, I guess. But at any rate, a huge win for Missouri State there. And if we have not noted yet, Missouri State is finally back in the top 25 for the first time in the computer rankings this season. So obviously that momentum of that win, the last couple of series, granted they have been split against 2 top 15 teams, they've been riding this wave of momentum back into the rankings.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Missouri State is 22. Maryville comes in at 46 in ACHA Division I. Maryville has not played a game since November 9th. That is 27 days. They had their highest goal-scoring game of the season against Waldorf. That was the night before, a 10-1 win back on November 9th. That is the last time that Maryville has played a hockey game. In fact, the Saints are playing 16 of 18 on the road, with this being away games number 15 and 16. And they're eventually going to play 18 of 20 on the road before they get at home, and that's for 12 games. And they've only played about 4 games or so in their new ice arena.
I've seen a little bit of video. That place is very impressive, and I believe Missouri State goes up there in the later stages of the season, so there's an opportunity for them to see that rink as well.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting February 14th and 15th up at Maryville to see that at the new Maryville University Hockey Center. Well, here at Jordan Valley Ice Park, Missouri State is hoping to gain another set of wins. The Ice Bears, as I mentioned, are doing okay at home. And when I say okay, when you look at the home record of 5-3, that's not good for Missouri State. Usually by this time you're probably seeing maybe 1 loss and a handful or more of wins, but Missouri State has really had a tough road at home, 5-3 on the season. They've allowed 61 goals. They've scored 61 goals, so even on the production that way. Maryville has scored 57, and they've allowed 75. for Missouri State, it's going to be a positive here tonight. The Ice Bears will finally have Nikita Salnikov back. Nikita only played 6 games, 6 goals, 2 assists. He's back. Tonight, he is going to be on the third line, and that will be on a line with Matt Matty, and they're also going to throw him on a line with Heinrich Lohman. So that'll be nice to see them kind of reunite together. The top line of Josh Bell, Hunter Cooley, and Alex Rubin will stay intact. And I like that. I like Alex being on that line. He kind of took Nikita's spot. But, Dan, it'll be interesting to see that third line and how that works out tonight.
Yeah, and you think of a third line as a line, at least in more hockey games than not, a position where they may not play as much. And maybe that's kind of strategy to get Salnikov more familiar, because obviously this is his first game in a couple months, if memory serves me right. But as you were mentioning, Steve, that top line with Bell and Cooley and Rubin, we discussed this off air. It's one that hasn't necessarily produced the most goals going forward, and that's where we can compliment Missouri State as well. They're getting more depth scoring down the lines they go, but that top line has been a very productive line at any rate. And like you said, Alex Rubin being very physical and very smart with the puck, able to set up a couple plays here and there.
Speaking of Nikita Salnikov, he's one of 4 players that still have point-scoring streaks. Nikita, 5-game point-scoring streak, but keep in mind, as you mentioned, Dan, he has not played in over a month. And Josh Bell, 4 games of point-scoring streaks, along with Jordan Bratton with 2 and Travis Barrett with 2. Nikita, of course, last season led the team with the most goals scored in a game, and Nikita had 5. It'd be nice to see him kind of, you talked about it off the air, Dan, you said, what do you think Nikita's going to do? Is he going to just start out of the gate and just go gangbusters, or is it going to take him a while to get his feet? And my bet is going to be on him, maybe the first period kind of feeling things out, and I'd say by the second period, if he doesn't have a couple of goals, there's something wrong.
Right, when you would figure at this point his heart's going to be beaten a little bit, because this is his first game back in a while, but knowing him, he's one of those guys that is going to hit the ground running, and expect him to, like you said, potentially go off tonight.
Goaltenders for each team. For Missouri State, they are going to start Brendan Shuck in nets, the senior from St. Louis. In 3 games, he's 2-1 with a 3.34 goals against average and an .899 save percentage. And for the Maryville Saints, the freshman right now, getting his crease all set up and ready to go, Ed Coffey, 6'6", 175 out of Anchorage, Alaska. In 8 games, he's 3-2 with a 2.79 goals against average and a .913 save percentage. And Dan, you mentioned earlier, with such a tall goaltender, what's the best way to get a goal? Well, you're going to have to get him moving side to side and try to look for the top shelf against such a big goaltender as Ed Coffey, 6'6", 175.
Yeah, that's Ben Bishop height. If we're making any comparison to an NHL caliber goalie, Ben Bishop height there. So like you mentioned, Steve, got to keep the big man moving and shoot pucks around him to get more pucks in the net.
Let's join Kevin Thurl, the public address announcer for the on-ice festivities here at Jordan Valley Ice Park.
And your Missouri State Ice Bears! Now who's ready for some Ice Bears hockey? Well, let's get started with tonight's starting lineups. And for the visiting Maryville University Saints, starting at a forward, number 9, Cole Mudra. Starting at a forward, number 5, Robert Harrison. Starting at a forward, number 14, Christian Alvagran. Starting on defense for the Saints, number 26, Josh Jones. Starting on defense, number 73, Cole Bonnet. And starting in net tonight for the Maryville Saints, number 35, Edward Coffey. The Saints are coached by head coach John Hogan. And ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome, returning to Jordan Valley Ice Park tonight, and a previous assistant coach for your Missouri State Ice Bears, now assistant coach for the Maryville Saints, Jeff Crenshaw. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the heart of Springfield, Missouri, inside the Jordan Valley Ice Park, and within the beautiful Stan Melton Arena, it's time. Everyone on your feet and make some noise. Let's meet the starters for your Missouri State Ice Bears. Starting at a forward, number 79, Alex Rubin. Starting at a forward, number 16, Josh Bell. Starting at a forward, number 24, Hunter Cooley. Starting on defense for the Ice Bears, number 5, Brett Houston. Starting on defense, number 18, Chris Brown. And starting in goal tonight for the Ice Bears, number 30, Brendan Shook. The Bears are coached by head coach Jeremy Law and assistant coach Brendan McClue. And let's give a warm welcome to tonight's officiating crew, your referees Craig Smith and Daniel Bruce, and linesmen Tim Saunders and Mark Crossbar Marzola. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing, and gentlemen, please remove your caps as we honor America with the singing of the national anthem performed tonight by Cassandra Thomas.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Our national anthem from Jordan Valley Ice Park, Stan Melton Ice Arena, Missouri State and Maryville. The Saints only bring 23 players to this contest, 20 skaters and 3 goaltenders. Not on the trip, Dylan Thompson, Ben MacArthur, Spencer Turner, Kyle Dunville, and Nate Simpson. Let's rejoin Kevin Thorough for some more on ice festivities.
Now, Dimitri is with Champions Committed to Kids. And Champions Committed to Kids is a charity that places kids who are fighting chronic illnesses or disabilities and places them with a local high school or college athletic team. Dimitri is 16 years old and attends Kickapoo High School. He loves playing video games and traveling, and his favorite things are Andy's frozen custard and Chick-fil-A. So let's cheer on the Ice Bears for 5 goals tonight to get Dimitri that $1 Sunday. And thanks to Champions Committee of the Kids and your MSU Ice Bears, Dimitri will be a member of the team for the next 2 years. Make sure we welcome him, Dimitri Robertson. Again, presented by Champions Committee of the Kids. One kid, one dream, and one powerful bond.
Well, a 2-year stint with Missouri State. I like that. That's got to be nice.
I was going to say, if I could have a guaranteed 2-year contract, I'd be ecstatic too.
You have a lifetime contract with me, Dan.
Oh, that's good to know. Good to know.
It doesn't pay much, but it's a lifetime. Maryville, speaking of, well, I wanted to transition with the word lifetime, but what I mean by that is they're going to have a while with these players to grow. 20 freshmen on the current playing roster for this hockey club. So John Hogan will have his hands full with kind of molding these players to what he wants for this hockey team. Meanwhile, play is underway here in the first period. Ice Bears with possession of the puck. Brett Houston coughs it up. Here comes Christian Albergan. Score! And Maryville takes a 1-0 lead that quickly.
Well, there's no other way around it, Steve. A perfect start for the Saints here early on, just 17 seconds into play. Missouri State with a defensive lapse and unable to get back. And the Saints able to streak in on a breakaway, get their own rebound, and beat Chuck early on.
We'll catch the call from public address announcer Kevin Thurl, but it is a 1-0 lead for Maryville. We're not even a minute into this contest. And Alvergran will get his 3rd goal of the season here in the first. So play is back in the Missouri State zone as they get the assists lined up for that one. Shot comes in.
Maryville goal scored by number 14, Christian Alvergran. Assisted by number 9, Cole Mudra, and number 5, Robert Harrison. Time of the goal, the 17-second mark of the first period. Scored by number 14, assisted by number 9 and number 5.
So Jack Harrison gets an assist, as I believe he wants to be called, but it'll go to Albergren. Meanwhile, Brendan Schuck has seen a couple of shots that are not up on the scoreboard. He's had to make a couple of extra saves. Play is at center, and here comes Heinrich Lohman with a drive in up over the goaltender. Coffey, it'll ricochet out to center ice, and Missouri State will set it right back up. Nikita Salnikov runs into Lohman, pushes him to the corner, goes to the far side. Nobody there for Missouri State, and it'll be taken away by the Saints, and Maryville able to get it up to center ice. Past Matt Matty and back into the Missouri State zone. Shot in, saves Schuck, rebound, cleared to the corner. And the Ice Bears gain possession. These numbers for Maryville, very difficult to see. That last shot came off the stick of Jim Hunter, and he goes to the bench. Saints with possession. Ice Bears get a quick line change. Saints into the Missouri State zone across the line. Working it down as Cole Bonnet behind the net. Checked there by the Ice Bears' Jack Brackbill. Brackbill on the ice. Jack with 3 assists, looking for his first goal of the season. Ice Bears momentarily had a break, now taken away and picked up by Damon Cargini. Cargini with a drive that's deflected wide, and it's deflected and cleared out to center ice. And we get an icing call. There are just 2 players that have points for Maryville that are still rostered the last time these 2 teams played. Trevor Henson has an assist, and as I mentioned, Damian Cargini has an assist also. Off the draw in the Missouri State zone, a 1-0 lead. If you joined us late, Maryville gets the first goal of the game. And Dan, they announced the time. I didn't catch it. I want to say about 28 seconds in.
17 seconds in.
17 seconds in. That's got to be tough. Puck cleared down with 17:03 to go in the first period. Alvegren gets the goal, his third of the season for Maryville. Now Hunter Saunders for the Ice Bears. Sends it right up the middle. Bell with a tip, and it just went wide. Saunders steals it again. Near side boards. Checking him is Jim Hunter for the Saints. Puck up off of Brown's stick for the Ice Bears, and he shoots it right back in before he gets hit. 16:34 to go. Far side. Rubin on the ice. He gets hit up high. Saints with possession. Ice Bears steal. Drop it down in low. Cooley gets checked off the play. It comes to the side of the net. Intercepted by Harrison, and now we get a whistle for a stoppage in play as the puck comes up and out. So we will have a face-off with 16:19 to go in the period and a 1-0 lead. And as you mentioned, Dan, just kind of a bad play. First save and the rebound put past the outstretched pad of Shuck for the 1-0 lead for Maryville.
When Steve, also the very next shift, Shuck had to come up with a couple of grade A chances as well. It takes Missouri State about 3.5 minutes for their first sustained pressure of the game.
Puck comes all the way down. We should get an icing here, and we do. 16:03 to go in the period. The icing will bring it back into the Maryville University Saints end of the ice. Face off to the right of Ed Coffey. Josh Bell comes in to take the draw. I know that much. There are numbers on the uniform. I just can't read who that is in the face-off dot. And off the draw, the Ice Bears do win it. It was Brendan Pruitt. Puck is cleared out to center. Front of the Ice Bears bench, flipped in and to the corner, where it'll be taken by the Ice Bears, flipped out to center ice and kicked all the way down. And past the outstretched stick of Cooley. Glove down in. We're going to get a delayed offside. The Ice Bears will clear the zone. And they look to line change. Full sail change for Missouri State. And now Maryville. Saints behind their own net. They kick it out to center. Bring it down to the left side. Bradley Boudreau. Boudreau is cut off by an Ice Bears skate that Sam Heiser wrote. Comes right up the middle after it was deflected away and held on to by Brendan Shuck. That should be the fourth shot of this contest. 15:15 to go in the period. Coming up at the first period intermission, I have a long interview with the head coach of Maryville and John Hogan. Face-off is won. Cleared out to center ice and grabbed by Phil Kemmer. Came up from the Division II squad. Kemmer with 4 goals and 2 assists out of Starnberg, Germany. Ice Bears gain possession. Bring it across the line with the B line on now. Here's Zane O'Brien over to Barrett. Now a shot missing just high and wide by Jordan Bratton. Back to Bratton behind the net to O'Brien, and now Barrett will chase for Missouri State. Travis drops it down low. Bratton at the right face-off dot. Off of his stick. Taken and cleared by Anthony Starvu. And the Ice Bears will gain possession and shoot it right back in. 14:29. We're going to get an offside on this. That'll bring it from the spot, I believe, of where it was shot.
Unless they called icing, did they potentially call icing there?
Unless they called icing. I didn't think, I thought they were across the red line on that. I guess so. So with the icing, it's back in the Missouri State zone. The Ice Bears apparently could not change. And the puck at the line stays in. Drop down in low. Saints with a 1-0 lead. Kemmer, I believe, is there to put a check. 14:07 remains. Looks like that's Jared Viggers, 18. Now stolen, comes right up the middle, deflected away by the Ice Bears defense. That one of Bratton to the left side. Held in. Right side now. Bonnet's pass is broken up. Down in low. Maryville up the middle. Another opportunity for Bonnet. He waits, he shoots, and he missed wide. Some traffic in front. Another shot from an odd angle, saved by Shuck and cleared back in the Missouri State end. Brown to clear it to the half boards, and finally it's out, but Missouri State desperately needs a line change. They do get that change. Off of Nikita Solnikov's stick. And Solnikov gets the loose change, picks it up again. Over to Matt Matty. Matty's pass deflected away at the red line. And the Ice Bears now playing catch. Lohman to bat it down. Grabbed by Josh Jones of Maryville. Gets it in across the line. Working it now is Mudra. Shot in, and it's held on to by the Ice Bears goaltender in Brendan Shuck.
Well, as you had mentioned, Steve, a long shift for that B line, that second line trio of Barrett and O'Brien on that play. Maryville getting a couple grade A chances again as the shot's deflected here. But a few grade A chances, and Missouri State's defense has to stay back a little bit more. It seems like they're coughing up the puck quite a bit in this early stages of the game thus far.
Yeah, I think Missouri State, who is not the team who hasn't played in 27 days, is going to have a hard time getting things set up. But now it is out to center, and it is another line change for Missouri State. Trying to get this quick one in. Now they get the fourth line on as Sollenbach, Launder, and Brandon Baldwin are on this line for Missouri State. 12-14 to go in the period. 1-0 Maryville. This coming 17 seconds into this contest. Puck across the Saints line. Saunders lost it. Timothy Rye is there. He leads a drive in, and a big save there as it was a 2-on-1 with Beaudreau. And Rye's shot was saved. Now we come the other way. Sollenbach across the line. Grabbed away from him. And another line change for Maryville. Too far. This is going to be an icing call as the pass from Launder too far for Saunders' reach, and now face-off will come back down into the Missouri State end of the ice.
Great chance there for Boudreau, 13 in black for the Saints there as he was trying to squeeze around the defense. Caught Chuck off guard a little bit, had to make a shoulder stave, and another near chance for the Saints as Chuck initially wasn't able to clear the rebound, but Missouri State's defense able to clear it away.
And because the Ice Bears couldn't change on that, Bell stays on. He's going to be on now with Saunders, who goes to the bench in favor of Cooley. Here's Rubin. Rubin gets hit up high, no penalty, we come the other way. Joe Gagnon with it across the line right side. Now working through is Starvu. He's looking for some help. It's up the middle, intercepted away from Gagnon, and now the Ice Bears have it Hunter Cooley. Cooley's pass instead as a shot comes in. Rubin waits for it there, and it's cleared out to center where Brett Houston will give it up, and the Ice Bears just get onside and send the puck in. Underneath Cooley's stick. Grabbed by TJ Prexler. He's the leading scorer for Maryville. 11 goals, 11 assists, 2 power play goals for the freshman from Coquitlam, British Columbia. Cooley across the line. Worked it in just enough. Taken away and sent up on the left side by Jens Juliuson and all the way down to the Missouri State zone. Ice Bears losing the handle on the puck here. They trail 1-0. Still trying to dig it out. Work to the right side, and now the Ice Bears, who really need to change, will work it and give it to Barrett. From Bratton to O'Brien. Up the middle in front, and getting pushed down was Chris Brown, the defenseman playing a forward and more like a center up the middle. Ice Bears in their own zone. 10:09 to go in period 1. Lead pass to Bratton. To O'Brien. Drop down in low. Trevor Henson trying to work the puck. Bratton steals for the Ice Bears. Low along the goal line. Puck to the right side, and it's out to center. Smith. Nice move, gets it across the line, but a good breakup play there by Trevor Henson, and it's cleared out to center ice. And Henson will send it all the way down 9:39 to go in the period, and a 1-0 lead for Maryville. Puck kicked out to center. Barrett was trying to poke it away and run, but he couldn't do it. And now Missouri State will change. 9:20 remaining. Lead pass goes to Lohman across, and no icing as Lohman must have touched it. Far side to Matty. He'll drop it in low. Looking for a play is Kevin Kubanek. Near side boards for Maryville. Saints able to get it to Cole Mudra. He gets it out to center ice, across to Christian Alvegren. He's the one that scored the goal, and it's sent all the way down to the Maryville zone for an icing call. 8:55 to go in the period, and a 1-0 lead for Maryville.
I think one thing I've noticed, Steve, thus far is granted they did have a long shift a while back, but the B line seems to be creating the majority of the offensive chances thus far for Missouri State. A couple minutes ago, the forwards able to work it around, and Chris Brown doing what he does best and tried sneaking in on the play, had a great A chance, but it looked like he had lost an edge and slipped down on the ice.
Well, they're rolling the puck, which bounced off the boards, must have hit a player's stick. And so the faceoff will come just outside the Maryville zone. Mentioned TJ Prexler, 22 points, leading scorer for Maryville. Josh Bell, 6 and 19 for 25 points, leading scorer for Missouri State. Now the Saints, after the faceoff draw, bring it into the Missouri State zone, but the Ice Bears turn and burn the other way. They have a 3-on-2 into the zone. Working it is Brackbill. Taken away from him, we come the other way, right to left, Josh Jones. Jones, 2-on-2, goes to the right. Jones still working it. Sends it down in low behind the Missouri State net. Shots are 5-1. Here's an opportunity up high. Pruitt got that one, and it was deflected off, I believe, of the shoulder of Shuck and out of play.
I think Steve Boudreau got parked out in front there and tried deflecting it down, but couldn't get the right part of the stick on it, deflected it out of play. At any rate, Boudreau was wide open in the front slot of the net there, so if he was able to deflect that down, if Shuck was able to make the save, he would have been there for a juicy rebound.
8:09 to go in the period, 1-0 in favor of Maryville. Got their only goal, Alvegren, at 17 seconds of this period on a rebound after Shuck made the first save. Here comes Rubin across the line to Cooley. Had it tipped away, and now Cooley kicks it to himself. Ice Bears work it. Getting on the ice now. Here is a shot by Houston up high. Stays in play, and Henson with it. Tried to get it out of harm's way. Cooley is able to keep it in, but not enough for an Ice Bear to gain control. So it's Starvu across the Ice Bears line. Backhanded as he got a pass to Prexler, and it's held on to by Shuck. Unofficially, the 7th shot put on net. They're saying Missouri State only has 1. I don't know how accurate that is.
It might be a little less, Steve. I've counted 1, at least maybe 2 solid shots for Missouri State, but we kind of touched on it, or you kind of touched on it earlier, Steve. It's a little hard to believe that this is that Missouri State's not the team that hasn't played in 27 days as opposed to Maryville.
Ice Bears have it across the line. Bratton looking for O'Brien, too far for him. Off the boards to Bratton. Left face-off dot. Bratton working it. Sent down in low. Brendan Huber, or Brian Fuller, that is, had it. And it went off of his stick. And Maryville will play touch. But the Ice Bears steal it. Barrett. Apparently O'Brien on sides. He shoots. Blocker saves. Second shot, apparently. Ed Coffey's had to make the save on this one. Ice Bears work it again down low. Too far for the stick of Travis Barrett. 8 goals, 4 assists for the senior. 6:44 to go in the period. Ice Bears have it again. Onside. Barrett tipped away from him, and Matty will send it in for good measure. Line change for Missouri State. Matty stays on, and he'll send it to the corner. Kicked out to Lohman across the line in the Missouri State zone. Lohman forgot the puck. 6:25 to go in the period. Out to center, and now Nikita Solnikov. His line is on with Matty and Lohman. Puck comes in and no icing, as apparently they're going to rule it was touched by the Ice Bears. Looking for the point. Instead, it is Lounder to hold it in. It's onside, but taken away by Maryville. Glove down by Mudra. Mudra right side, comes to the left. Mudra shoots, and a save that gets caught in the pads of Shuck, and he'll hold on. 5:54 to go in the period, and a 1-0 lead for Maryville.
Kind of a couple nifty forehand backhand moves there by Mudra, able to slice through the Ice Bears defense, get a shot on net that Chuck had a little bit of trouble with. You could see him turn his head to his right, make sure that puck was underneath his pad.
Yeah, he didn't know where it was, and if it's not behind him, it's got to be in him somewhere. Here comes the puck right up the middle, and it was ticked away from Alvegran, and the Ice Bears will have it. Backhander by Brown into the zone. Baldwood is there for Missouri State. Now to Saunders up the middle. It gets to Brown at the line, held in, and Brown lost the puck. Grabbed by Alvegran. 2-on-1 along with Harrison. Alvegran shoots, and he just missed wide to the left side. Out to center is the puck. And Missouri State with possession, although they're coughing it up the middle. Here comes Maryville. Drive in, gets deflected up and out of play. Bradley Boudreau got that one, looking for his 5th. Out of Keswick, Ontario, the junior. Had the puck out of play. Should be the 9th shot now on Shuck. Mentioned Brendan coming in. Just now his 4th game of the season. He's 2-1 with a 3.34 goals against average and an .899 save percentage for the senior. Puck flipped out to center. Ice Bears will have it. Lead to Cooley. Too far for him. He's going to chase. Out comes the goaltender, and Cooley's there to push the number. Bell gets upended. No penalty. Bell kicks it. Keeps it in play, and it's behind to Cooley. Bell to chase. Henson to move it away. Ice Bears have it. Snapshot missing wide by Rubin. It'll go to the near side boards. Off the boards by Rye and out to center ice. Back to the Missouri State zone. No icing. Ice Bears with possession. Out of their own zone, but another bad pass that Missouri State can't handle. Here's Derek Smith. Smith in front of the Missouri State bench. Smith doozies through. Dazzles. Either way, it's a D word, and he's able to dump it in and go for a line change. Barrett. He'll have it for Missouri State. Taken away by Kubanek. Kevin will work it out of Mullendal, Sweden. A lot of players from other countries on this hockey club for Maryville. Great Britain, in fact. That's where Rye is from. Now here come the Ice Bears. Missouri State with a 2-on-2. Crisscrossing. O'Brien's shot, and he missed wide. Nobody there on the right side. Puck cleared out to center. Here comes Starvu across the Missouri State line. Shot in for Maryville. Save. Rebound behind the net. And as it bounces off Lohman, it's held on to by Shuck.
Well, Steve, I think if you're Missouri State, you got to create more opportunities in the offensive zone. That last shift for the Ice Bears, just one shot by O'Brien that missed wide, and all of a sudden the puck's going the other way. If you're Missouri State, don't be too fancy with it. Just keep it simple to see if you can try generating a couple more chances in front of Coffey.
Ice Bears win the draw. Lohman had it for a moment. 3:22 to go in a fast-paced first period. Ice Bears can't clear it. Grabbed by Henson. Sends it down in low. Battle for it at the half board. Sent behind the net. Houston's there for Missouri State. Intercepted by the Ice Bears and Nikita Salnikov. To Lohman. Chipped away from him. Sent down by Jared Viggers. Broken up from Viggers. Grabbed by Henson. And flipped up into the Missouri State zone. Houston swipes it to the near side. Helped by Brown and moved up to Salnikov. Across the line, Nikita. Nice move, tipped away from him. Nikita's pass off a skate and out to center, and Missouri State will regroup. into the Saints zone. Taken away by Josh Jones. He tries to split the difference. He does into the Missouri State zone. Centers it out in front. Drive and a score! Out of nowhere, a centering pass. And who scored this one? He's got his hands up. He's leading the pack. And I think it's Damian Cargini. It is.
Yeah, just another chance there, Steve, for Missouri State to try to clear the puck, and they can't. The Saints able to keep the puck in the zone. A very nice cross-ice feed, and Karinji able to get that puck past the outstretched glove of Schuck. He thought he had it initially, but it looked like it just trickled over the goal line and into the net. And amazingly, Maryville with a 2-0 lead.
We get an offside here, and I'll go with your pronunciation, Karinji. Here's the pass up the middle, and it just went off of the glove and behind the goaltender and in as we looked at it at replay. 2-0 in favor of Maryville. And the fans are quiet here at Jordan Valley Ice Park. Puck comes in and Schuck makes the save.
2, 3.
They're so in shock they haven't announced the goal yet. We know it's Karinji's goal, the 7th of the season. .152 to go. Puck comes in.
Maryville goal scored by number 12, Damian Karingi. Assisted by number 26, Josh Jones, and number 73, Cole Bonnet. Time of that goal at 17:38 of the first period. Scored by number 12, assisted by number 26 and number 73.
And they almost had another one as up the middle, Mudra was denied. And the Ice Bears are having trouble now even putting any kind of shots on net. Rubin sends it all the way around. And you know, Dan, we talked about it as the puck comes to the corner of the net, crashing through is Rubin, and it's cleared out to center. We talked about how are you going to get the puck past this tall goaltender. The first thing you got to do is get shots, and that's what Missouri State has not done.
Yeah, Missouri State just has to do something at this point, whether it be a creative shot, a big hit, or drawing a penalty, or something to get momentum on their side, because they just have not done it yet.
Off the side of the net, Jordan Bratton's shot. And it's cleared all the way down. This should, well, it's not going to be an icing. It's on net. So no icing. 40 seconds to go in the period. Puck is almost stolen. It is kept in the zone, though. And it'll come right to the goaltender, Schuck, and he's going to hold on. So if you want to talk about all the things that Missouri State is doing wrong, passing's one of them. Attempt to clear, which is being taken and stolen, especially if you clear up the middle, by Maryville. And I think their neutral ice play is not as good as it could be.
Yeah, to not sound like a broken record, Steve, it almost seems like these are the same common themes that happens with Missouri State whenever they're whenever they're trailing in a game.
Here's O'Brien, comes in behind the net, poked away from him, and who lost his stick? Well, it's not O'Brien. It looks like it was Boudreau. O'Brien with it, centers it up to Barrett. He shoots, and a save by Coffey. So the Ice Bears with one of their best opportunities, only on their third shot, 13.3 seconds left, and Missouri State with a good opportunity there. They're going to have a face-off in the Maryville zone, and I think they're going to change up. They're going to put Salnikov, Cooley, and Rubin now. So they've moved Salnikov up to the top line with Cooley and Rubin. And off the draw, shot in by Salnikov behind the net. Cooley with a backhander, 9 seconds to go in the period. Behind to Salnikov, 5. Salnikov snapshot, save, rebound, up the middle, drive, 1 second, and Brown was denied at the last moment there by Coffey. And it is a 2-0 lead for Maryville after one period of play. They did put an extra shot on. So right now, Brendan Shuck with 10, Ed Coffey with 4. No penalties, but just 2 goals. Alvergren, 17 seconds in, gets his rebound shot to make it a 1-0 lead, and then after that, Karinji, the assist goes to Jones and Bonnet, and it is a 2-0 lead for Maryville after one period of play. Well, Dan, I know that we could pick this apart and say, okay, this is what you need to do, but again, for Missouri State, they need to get shots. They unofficially have 4, and honestly, that was Maryville's period.
Yeah, for sure. And you kind of hate to see it happen if you're Missouri State, but I think half of those shots came within the last 30 seconds of that period. And you can kind of sense maybe some strategy going on in head coach Jeremy Law's mind as he was trying to switch up the lines a little bit and moving Salnikov to the top line, at least for the last 15 seconds of that period. And maybe he'll do some more rearranging of the lines in the locker room as we head in this first intermission.
Neutral ice play, I know, needs to improve a little bit for Missouri State. They're passing definitely. That's one of the things that I saw that was a little suspect. And, you know, we've mentioned it before. 27 days off for Maryville doesn't look like it's hurt them at all.
Yeah, they're flying around the ice. And you got to give credit to Coach John Hogan and his crew to have this team prepared, not only for their first game in about a month, but for that drive from the St. Louis area down here just today to be able to prep his team. And gosh, they look faster. They're getting their sticks in the lane to prevent Missouri State from getting shot. They have been the better team thus far.
Well, I know that you'll be looking for the out-of-town scores, and we will take a break. When we come back, talk to head coach John Hogan of Maryville and his thoughts about his team this year and his hopes and aspirations and wishes for his hockey club, who right now has a 2-0 lead after one period of play. Alvergren's 3rd, Karinji's 7th, and it is Maryville leading Missouri State after 20 minutes. We'll take a break and be back, and John will be our guest in just a moment.
This is Barrel Bob, MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. You'll be seeing more of me as the weather warms up. Crews will be working on our roads. That means lanes will be closed for construction and maintenance work on our highways. As you approach a work zone, please don't drive distracted. You need to pay attention. I want you and my friends working on the roads to all get home safely. Remember, buckle up and put down your phone. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Hey, Springfield, are you ready for some hockey?
Here's Barrett.
Left side with the beeline on over to O'Brien. Back to Barrett. Score!
Steve Casson here, voice of your Missouri State Ice Bears. Join us at Jordan Valley Ice Park in downtown Springfield for this year's excitement.
This is head coach Jeremy Law. The Bears are back for another season, so check out our schedule at MissouriStateHockey.com and get your tickets now.
Here come the Ice Bears. Turin with Bell catching up. Turin shoots. Score! Oh, baby! Back at Jordan Valley Ice Park, Steve Casson now with the head coach of the Maryville University Saints and John Hogan. And John, your team 6-12-1 on the season, and right now you guys are road warriors. It's a situation now where you're playing 16 of 18 on the road. This is game 15 and 16 away from your arena. The great thing is you get a new arena to play in, and you've barely seen much of it.
Yeah, we have played a total of 5 home games at home this semester, and like you said, I think we're going to be playing 18 away. So 7 road trips in total the first semester. So as I've told our guys, it's as a first-year team in the ACHA D1, you kind of have to go out and make sure everyone knows you because not everyone wants to come to your barn. So we understand that we might need to bite the bullet the first year to go play some top talented teams. So that's okay by us.
And that's what you have been doing. And, of course, last season, 2018, The only 2 games that were played here between these 2 clubs. You weren't a Division I club yet, but 10-1 or 10-1 and 7-1 victories for Missouri State. But that aside, between then and now, what have you kind of learned about the ACHA Division I?
Well, nothing that I already didn't know. Probably just a little more appreciation. My brother and I played in it out in Arizona, coached it for a year. And, again, it's just faster. It's bigger than D2. Not that D2 is bad. There's some really good teams at D2. The whole adventure, the journey of finally getting here just in the 18 months, I probably have more appreciation for D2 and the teams that are in that league. And I probably have more appreciation for the D1 and how good you have to be a perennial top 15. Those are probably the 2 things I've taken away from the last 18 months.
Your club has not played a game in 27 days. How tough is that going to be to get back out on the ice?
Yes, thank you for the reminder. It's almost funny. Our Thanksgiving break is almost as long as our Christmas break. Obviously we should be excited, ready to go, as I'm sure your guys at this time of year. Some illnesses are going around. Also, the pressure of exams and all that stuff is piling up. So, as I'm sure Jeremy tells his guys, this should be the sanctuary. This should be the opportunity to get away from all that and just play the game that they love. And 60 minutes. That's all we're asking from them. So hopefully they're ready to go after 27 days. Because I know the coaches are.
John Hogan, head coach of Maryville University, is our guest. And, John, that last game you played 27 days ago was a 10-1 win over Waldorf. That was your highest point total this season. It's got to be nice, obviously, finishing off a Division I team by that much of a rout.
Yeah. It's one of those things, and the ACHA is playing and coaching it for so long. Any night anyone can beat anyone. It doesn't matter what division you're in and how good you are, what record you are. If you don't bring it, there's someone on the other end that's sometimes going to bring it more. So on that Friday, we played okay, but Waldorf had their goalie played phenomenal, and they held in there, and they stayed with it, and they beat us in overtime. And then, excuse me, the second night, we just got a little bit more to our game. Finally, that identity we've been trying to seek. And as a first-year team, as much as the coaches would like to bring them to the watering hole, they have to drink it themselves, and I think they finally drank it themselves on that Saturday. So it was nice to get a little confidence. 10-1, we hadn't done that in a while. And we'll see if hopefully we didn't waste them all 27 days ago. Hopefully we kept 1 or 2 for you guys.
Yeah, there you go. If you look at your lineup, and I've been looking up and down at your lineup right now, you guys from all over the place, from Europe, from Canada, maybe a token couple from Missouri, and that's about it. Where are you getting your recruiting from?
Yeah, I call it the melting pot. It's nice to bring all these different cultures, all these different vantage points, to Maryville, and I think we have 27. We started with 27 guys on the roster. A handful are from Canada, a couple from Europe, a couple from Australia, a couple even in the U.S. We have a couple from California, a couple from Alaska. So college is about doing something different. So we have a couple St. Louis kids, but a lot of them just wherever they were, they wanted to experience something different, and for whatever reason, what we were selling, they wanted to buy. So. It's fun to bring all these different characters and personalities into a room and see how it gels together. So it's been a lot of fun thus far.
Ryan Gridley rostered on your who was on your roster from California, I think Santa Monica.
Yep.
What made him decide to go all the way from sunny SoCal all the way out here?
Yeah, so we saw him at the Blaine Showcase. And he was a 99, I believe, and just not a lot of teams were talking to him. So that was just one of those things that we talked to the right player who wanted to go to college, and maybe juniors wasn't in his path for another year. So shooters got to shoot, so that's why you go to all these showcases to talk to 100 players so you can get 1 or 2 of them. So we had a couple other California kids that they just wanted something different. So it's everyone's different, but yeah, he's a player we found at a showcase.
When you look at your roster, you also look at your goaltenders, and same thing. You've got goaltenders that are from all over the place. One from Ontario, Canada, and I'm trying to look down your roster as we speak here. Another one from Anchorage, Alaska, in Ed Coffey. Again, where are you getting these guys? Goaltenders are tough to find, especially some that are from all over the place. They could play anywhere. Now they want to come to Maryville.
Yep. So Aaron Romero, we found him last year. He was our second commit in the program's history. And he was playing at Williston, which is a 2-year ACHA D2 program. So we found him last year, obviously from Ontario. And then Ed Coffey, he played in the Dub S last season. And we, as we told him, we have a senior this year goaltender, but we wanted some freshmen that understood that they had the opportunity to get some playing time right away, and to learn from Romer, a seasoned senior. And again, get the opportunities right away. And Johnny and Ed have played a couple games thus far, so not a lot of freshmen in our league can say that.
And Johnny Massera, he's just a local guy from Fenton, Missouri. It's okay. You just have to get that token goaltender from local. But, and right now they're all venerable goaltenders. I mean, they all can do it. Now, Aaron, as you say, he's played most of the games, so because of that, his goals against average is up a little bit higher. But everybody else, right around the average and what you need to be effective, and you have that.
Yeah, it always starts from the net out. It doesn't matter if you put 9 goals again, 4 if you let up 10. So, Romer, again, he's a seasoned veteran. He's a senior that knows what it takes, and he's done a nice job bringing those other 2 along. And it's super nice. It's a luxury to know that you have confidence, and they're confident in their abilities on the back end, and I think that spreads throughout your lineup. And it doesn't really matter who we put in. I think pretty similar to your situation right now with your goalies. You can put any of them in, and I think the guys in front of them are going to play strong. Doesn't matter who's behind them.
Yeah, you talk to head coach Jeremy Law, and you could use the excuse, okay, I'm going to go with the hot goalie, and that's not to say that that's an excuse, but that's the normal thing that coaches do. They go with the hot goalie. But if you've got guys just sitting on the bench and itching to go, and you've got to give them some time, who do you choose? And it's a great problem to have.
Yes, it is. Yep, that's why you always have a quarter in your pocket so you can flip it up in the air and see what it lands on. So
sometimes 2, right?
Yep, sometimes 2. So it's a nice luxury to have, and you want guys to be on your bench licking their chops for the opportunity. So it's a problem that it's nice to have.
Head coach John Hogan is joining us of Maryville University. What are some of the things that you want to accomplish, you personally, with this hockey team this year?
That's a loaded question. I want us to understand what it takes to play and what it takes to win at this level. And when you have 19 freshmen and you have almost 99% of your roster who have never played ACHA D1 hockey, there's no one that they can lean on. There's not that junior or senior leadership that says, hey, Steve, this is how this goes. They're all learning it on the fly together, which is it's a unique and it's an experience that not a lot of people can have, and it brings, in my opinion, it brings a group closer together, but that means that there's some growing pains on the way, and we've experienced those already, and we'll continue to experience those, but I think we're finally getting to that point of understanding, okay, this is one way how to play, and this is another way how to play. And those two avenues of how you want to play, one of them you're going to win, one of them you're not going to have all that much success. So having my group understand that, I think that's really important in building our program, that culture that we want in our first year. And I think if we do that, it will pay dividends on an exponential portion moving forward.
Maryville head coach John Hogan is joining us. And John, you coming from Arizona, obviously Arizona was one of the big names that if somebody says, where'd you coach? Where you been? And you say Arizona, especially being a D1 club, there's a little bit of clout behind it. So with you coming in, and like you say, you've got, now on my list I had 20, but if you say 19, that's okay. Maybe I can't count right.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of guys on there. They obviously look at that and say, okay, he's come from a good background, and I got to listen to this guy.
Sometimes you like that to happen more than not, but what can I do for you today, Coach, and what can I do for you as a player today? So, it'd be nice to think that, and again, it's just the daily grind as a coach, and you just want to get the most out of your players, and as young men that are transitioning from junior hockey that maybe haven't been in school that much, for players that have played for other coaches, it takes time, and you have to be able to keep everything in perspective, and trust in your own abilities, trust in their abilities, and trust that at the end of the day we'll figure it out and we'll have success. And I think that's just what we've done this year. And again, I would like to think that they listen to a thing or two that I say, but they have to learn it firsthand. I can only tell them so many things. For example, I can tell them it's really big boy hockey and you're going to have to put pucks deep. They're not going to understand that until you go play UCO and you put a puck in deep and it's effective, and instead of turning pucks over at the blue line and getting buried 6 feet under. Like, there's just two different ways to play hockey, and they have to learn that firsthand, and I think we're doing those things this first semester.
Well, not to single anybody out, but TJ Prexler, 11 goals, 11 assists, 22 points in 19 games, and he's just a freshman. He's from Coquitlam, British Columbia. Where'd you find this guy?
Yep, so he was in the Dub S as well. He was friends with some other guys we were talking to. So it's all about finding those pools of players. As Jeremy knows, he has a lot of success up in BC with his ties up there. So we found him up there. He just has a knack for being at the right place at the right time, and some people say that's luck. I think that's a lot of just being smart on the ice, knowing your surroundings, having good spatial awareness. He always seems to be in good spots at the right times, and he's as much as he is a good player, he's even a better person. And at Maryville, when you're building something, and I think a lot of coaches would say this, how the culture of your team, the people that you have in your locker room, that's more important than any skill, any talent you can have in your room. And I think I can say that for a lot of our guys. There's a lot of just good young men that I enjoy being around, and they enjoy playing together. And this thing will turn here. But TJ is one of the many that we have that are just good core pieces, good people that just happen to be really good at hockey as well.
I mean, I can go down the list. Anthony Stavru, he's second, 15 points, 6 and 9. Cole Murdra, 3 and 8 with 11, and then Robert Harrison at I think he's got 10 points, 4 and 6. So you got some guys right there that can put the puck in the net. And again, a relatively young team. This is probably going to be one of those teams that as you get older and mature and guys play with each other, by the time these freshmen become juniors, Maryville is going to be one of those teams we're going to have to say, watch out for them. They're not like they were before. They're not a doormat. They're a team that we're going to have to watch out for.
That's the idea, at least. So hopefully that all comes into fruition. But yes, that is the idea. But they have to learn these lessons. They have to learn those things as freshmen.
Sure.
So by the time they are sophomores and juniors and seniors, they've bitten the bullet. So that's the hope. And again, we feel like we have just a really good group, a good core, and or as you said earlier in the interview, what are we trying to learn? What are we trying to accomplish this year? We're just trying to learn those lessons so we're better for it in the future.
Obviously, it's going to be a good rivalry. Next year, we have home and home together with each other, and that's going to be fun. And, of course, your second time playing Missouri State here. I don't know what your attendance is like, but you obviously know through playing with Arizona and through, of course, last season, the fans here can make or break the concentration of teams. And, it's going to be another one of those crazy things. But I always wish players and coaches and people that I have on interviews that are part of the team that we're talking about good luck, So I definitely want to wish you good luck, but maybe after this weekend.
That's fair. I have nothing but praise for what you guys do down here. I know as much as it can stink coming to this and being in a hostile environment, that's also, as coaches, that's what we're trying to give the experience for our student athletes. So to come in here and say, guys, there's going to be about 1,000 people in here that are going to be, hooting and hollering and probably not so nice things. That's a fun experience that they can go home and say, I played college hockey, and that's not a lot of places in our league can say that. And down here in Springfield at Missouri State, you're one of the teams that can say that you provide a really unique, fun college hockey experience. So props to you guys. It's fun. It's nice having you guys only 3.5 hours away. And as I tell our fans, we have a similar setup at our rink. So hopefully we're doing that here in a couple of years. But you gotta start winning some games if you want people to come.
One quick story I want to talk to you about. You had mentioned about a hostile environment, and when I used to be a sports reporter and I covered a local high school volleyball team, I came in and music was blaring, and it was 80s hair band music just blaring like crazy. I mean, it was loud. So I walk in, and the coach sees me, and so she cuts the music so we could talk, and I asked her, why did you do that? And she says, I'm simulating the environment because it's so loud and everybody is cheering and talking and yelling and all that kind of stuff that you will not be able to understand what's going on because there's going to be so many distractions. So they were practicing playing the music blaring loud, and it was not music that they liked, so to speak. That's why it was 80s hairband, which is what caught me. And I asked her about it, and I'm thinking that is a great training tool for people that go into, as you call, a hostile environment, even though the fans are great, they're just loud.
Yep.
But, you go into that environment. You might want to think about that. Blare the music.
Yeah, we will not be doing that because then I can't even think straight. But that's just one of those things that, as you said, what are we trying to do? We're trying to learn. So a lot of these guys, this is the first experience that they're going to have in a hostile environment like this. So soak it in, learn from it. I'm sure we'll make some mistakes on the way, but have fun while you're doing it, and we'll be better for it.
All right, John Hogan, the head coach of Maryville University. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks, Steve.
And again, good luck after this weekend. All right, we'll be back. More hockey. Well, we are now back at Jordan Valley Ice Park. We are just about to start the second period between Missouri State and Maryville University. The Ice Bears will skate from the right to the left. Maryville from the left to the right. And off the draw, that'll be taken by the Ice Bears. Hunter Cooley sends it in immediately. Dan, I found out why Bell was not on that last shift. He had broken a skate lace, and that's why he wasn't on that last shift. When it was Solnikoff and Cooley and Rubin.
That makes sense.
Puck cleared all the way down into the Maryville zone. Ice Bears trying to eat into that 2-0 lead for Maryville. Alvergren his third and Carnegie seventh. Here come the Ice Bears. Snap shot by Cooley in and a big save by Coffey. Steers it into the corner. 18-15 to go in the period. Make that 19-15. And it's sent down into the Missouri State zone, and a touch pass or a touch shot from Bonnet gets deflected up over the net. Puck is cleared out to center and back down into the Maryville zone. No icing. Ice Bears may be caught in a line change. Fuller's the only one back. He's going to chase it down, and he'll have it for Missouri State. Out of their own zone to Derek Smith. Off the boards to himself. Tipped in. It's good. Here comes Starvu. He brings Fuller down. Starvu behind the net. It's shot up high. Save Shuck. Rebound in front. Starvu's there. Save again by Shuck. Two good saves, and Missouri State still having trouble in their own zone. Here is Barrett to the near side, to O'Brien. This is in the Missouri State zone. The Ice Bears having trouble getting it out, and Bratton sends it up to Barrett, who will chase it all the way in. Kubanek will deflect it there for Maryville, and it's out to center ice to Fuller. Fuller's pass sent right back to himself, and he'll get it off the glass and out to center. 3-on-2 for Missouri State. O'Brien left side carries it through, and it's too far for anybody. Ice Bears with a quick change. Puck bounces out to center ice. Lounder had it go by him, and Sam Heiser will come down. He's going to chase this man into the corner. I'm stalling because I can't read the number. That is TJ Prexler. Prexler's there. Now sent down in low from Biggers. Bratton to the corner. Cannot clear it. Yes, he does. It's out to center, and the Ice Bears have a 2-on-2, and we're going to get the first penalty of the game as Barrett draws a penalty. It's a tripping call, and Missouri State will go on the power play.
Well, potentially some life here for Missouri State as Barrett was able to draw a penalty. Had a defenseman for the Saints. Looks like going to the box is Trevor Henson. Henson getting his stick caught up in Barrett's skate. Barrett goes down, and the first opportunity for Missouri State on the power play this evening.
Missouri State on the power play, 14 for 65, 21.5%. And on the penalty kill for the Saints, 12 for 81, 85.2%. So this is their 82nd penalty that they're going to have to kill this season. Lohman from Missouri State across the line, gets it down in low to Bell on the power play. Bell will work it over to Brown right side. Bell up high, Brown right side, one-timer, shot in, save, Coffey. Rebound. Left side. Ice Bears work it to Bell. Now down in low from Rubin to Cooley with a backhander that misses wide. Oh, an Ice Bear pushed a Saint into the backboards. No pen. Oh, now we're going to get a penalty. And are they going to get both? Or just one? Oh, it's just one. But Dan, the play stopped, and I don't know if it was touched up by Maryville or not, but the play stopped.
Yeah, I think Missouri State still had control of the puck. At any rate, Maryville back in the box again. This 5-on-3, Steve, something Missouri State has to take advantage of. You had mentioned the amount of penalties that Maryville's had thus far this season. They're in the top 10 as far as penalty minutes go in the ACHA. So if you're Missouri State, something you definitely have to take advantage of. And a 5-on-3 for at least a minute 12 is a good opportunity to get back into this game.
Yeah, Jones was called for cross-checking, and it actually worked from Missouri State's advantage. They were able to get possession now with a two-man advantage, and time didn't run off. Here's Brown, two-man advantage with Bell. Bell up high, Ice Bears circling. Bell waits, right side, score, shot, save, rebound in front, poked, shot, save. Cooley with a shot and another save. Rebound in front is loose. Rubin with a shot. And I thought that was a score, Dan, but I apologize. It actually hit the defenseman in. It was a wide open net, and it hit the defenseman. Ice Bears working again. Two-man advantage. Bratton with a drive and a blocker save. Rebound in front. 28 seconds left in the two-man advantage. Bell with it to Rubin, who fans on it. Taken away, and Rubin keeps it in. It hit him. Rubin was able to get in front of the puck and keep it in. Great play by him. Behind the net. Mudra is there, cannot clear it. Ice Bears keep it in. Fans yelling, let's go Bears. Bell with a shot. It's blocked and it's out to center. So the first power play opportunity will expire. And this will be number 2 for Missouri State, although they coughed up the puck. 45 seconds left in the one-man advantage. Here's Maryville across the line. Working it off the side of the net. May have been saved by Shuck. And Missouri State with 33 seconds to go on the power play. Solnikov, lead pass, too far for O'Brien. He's going to chase it down, no icing. O'Brien keeps it good. O'Brien up the middle, now to Solnikov left side. Gets it to Bratton, return pass. Bratton lost it. And Missouri State with 14 seconds left in the power play, it is cleared. Nothing doing for Missouri State on the two-man advantage that has 5 seconds left. Ice Bears across the line in the zone, deflected away and cleared. That'll do it. Missouri State with nothing on the two-man advantage. Right up the middle, shot, save, rebound is moved into the corner as Rye had a great opportunity up the middle and Shuck with a huge save. And the puck is cleared out to center. that could have been almost devastating for Missouri State. But Maryville with some fantastic movement here. They get it right side, missing just wide is Juliuson. And the Ice Bears defensively with all sorts of holes right now. And Bratton will clear it, and Missouri State will get a line change. Make that 13:55 to go in the period. Puck up the middle, stolen by Bell. Now, cross ice pass to Baldwin, out in the middle, a drive save, rebound, Bell chops at it, and it's held on to. And now we get a couple of players crossing, and the officials say, just stay away, we're good, stay away.
Well, Steve, you had mentioned Rye's grade A chance in front of Shuck. Looked like Heiserroth was the only defenseman back for Missouri State as they were trying to get a line change in after that long 5-on-3 power play. And with these long changes, the inability for Missouri State to get back into their defensive zone nearly cost them there.
Shots are 13-6 in favor of Maryville. And they are doing everything right. Puck's in all the way down. This is no icing. Houston to Brown of Missouri State. To Cooley. Slapped off the board, sent all the way down. Bell's going to chase. And Bell needs to get back on side. Maryville with Karinji with a drive that's held on to by Shuck to Brown. Now to Rubin. 2-on-2. Into the zone. Rubin shot in, save. Rebound loose up the middle, and it just passed Cooley and cleared. Underneath Fuller. And across the line for Maryville. Into the zone, past the broken stick. Puck bounces oddly off the back of the boards and taken away by Fuller of Missouri State. Tipped out to center ice by Cooley, and that's as far as it goes. And the Ice Bears, Smith is there. Smith runs rough shot. Starvu, he gets pulled down. Smith kicks it to the corner. Fuller to Rubin of Missouri State. Now to Bratton with Cooley, 2-on-2, crisscross. Bratton right side, Cooley left side. Cooley through his skates, and he's not able to gain much possession, but finally does. And at the half boards, it is cleared out to center ice to Fuller. Maryville with possession into the Ice Bears zone. 3-on-2, drive in, save. That one came off of Starvu. We come the other way, right to left. Barrett, nice move down the middle. Barrett breaks free in front. He shoots, and a save is the best opportunity for Missouri State by Travis Barrett was held on to by Ed Coffey.
Yeah, exactly, Steve. Barrett able to use his speed, streaking from his own blue line down the ice, able to get past the Saints defense. A good shot there, but Coffey able to come up with a huge save there.
So Missouri State is 2 minutes away from the halfway mark of this hockey game. And they trail 2-0. Heiserroth is able to tip it out to center. And Trevor Henson off of his stick and briefly back the other way before we go back to the Missouri State zone. Lounder had it off of his stick. Breaks free. Maryville working it. Tip, score! It was tipped on the way in. And Maryville has a 3-0 lead. May have been tipped by Hunter.
I think Hunter had the initial shot, Steve, and we'll have to go back and look at it, but that might have hit off an Ice Bear leg because the puck was going one way, Shuck was going one way, and that deflected puck went the other way by his left pad. And Maryville just pouring it on at this point, up 3-0 here about halfway into the second period.
Well, we'll get a good look at it from your camera angle here in just a second. But it is a 3-0 lead for Maryville. And quite frankly, Missouri State has looked absolutely flat. Although
Saints goal scored by number 3, Timothy Rye, assisted by number 17, Jim Hunter. Time of the goal at 8:25 of the second period, scored by number 3, assisted by number 17.
So that's Rye's first goal of the season. And Hunter with the assist. At least that's what they're calling for. Meanwhile, some good pressure in the Maryville zone, and now we get a couple of players not happy. Let's take a look at that goal, apparently by Rye, from the high slot, and it was tipped in. And they will give it to Rye, at least according to the officials. But a 3-0 lead. If you are joining us late on Web Sports Radio and say, what is going on here? Albergan at 17 seconds of the first, his third. Carnegie, his seventh at 17:38. And now Rye here in the second, his first. It's 3-0.
I think one thing, Steve, that Maryville's done a great job, at least when Missouri State tries to get some offensive pressure going in the offensive zone, they're like dogs on raw meat, not to make any mascot puns or anything, but they're able to be very aggressive, block pucks, and do what they're doing right now with pounding Derek Smith to try to have him cough up the puck.
10:47 to go in the period. And a 3-0 lead for Maryville. Here comes Cooley. He waits, gets off a shot, and a big save by Coffey. Ed Coffey, 6'6", 175. Here's Cooley up the middle, nobody there, and it's going to be a 2-on-1 for Maryville. Falling down with Smith. Here's left side, a drive in, and a save as Rye with another opportunity. Here comes Bell, gets it to Cooley, across the line. Cooley with a shot, it gets deflected up high. Bell to chase, nobody there for Missouri State. Bell keeps it himself. Top of the red line, or the blue line that is, drops it down in low. Now on the ice is Hunter Saunders. Puck deflected away from him, and Heiseroth will shoot it right back in. But here's a lead pass, Ice Bears on a line change. Prexler, he shoots, oh, what a save by Schuck. Right pad out, and Prexler was looking for goal number 12. Ice Bears steal. They have a 2-on, maybe. Here's Sollenbach, shot save, rebound, and it's held on to by goaltender Ed Coffey. End-to-end action with two spectacular goaltender saves on each end.
And I think that's what teams are trying to do at this point. Maryville doing it a couple more times, but you have these long line changes with benches on the opposite side of your defensive zone. Both teams tried to take advantage of that. First Maryville, and as you had mentioned, Steve, Schuck with a huge right pad, maybe got a little bit of his blocker on that as well, and then Coffey on the other side stopping Sollenbach on a 2-on-0.
Barrett with a shot there. And Dan, remind me to get back to that breakaway. It was due to a bad clearing pass by Missouri State. I don't know if they knew the line change was happening. Maryville in the zone. Here it's loose. We should get goaltender interference. And the official immediately washes out the goal, as there was a Saint that ran into the goaltender, Schuck, and immediately it was washed out.
And I guess the discussion at this point will be whether he was pushed in or not. But once again, Maryville using speed to their advantage, able to create another odd man rush. And we'll see just if this goal will count. My gut tells me no, but my gut's been wrong on many, many occasions.
Well, I don't believe it should count. I do not believe this one should count. Let's see if we can take a look at it here. And, well, it may count.
It looks like they're moving the face-off to the offensive, or just outside the blue line for Missouri State. So,
okay, we'll take a look at it one more time. But it was definitely, okay, it was a player that lost his foot, ran into the goaltender, but still, he was not pushed. So that is correct. Correct call by the official. Brown to clear, helped by Barrett, bounced to O'Brien offside.
The call is no goal on the ice for goaltender interference, but no penalty on the play. No goal on the ice for goaltender interference, but no penalty on the play.
Well, the officials got that one right. It was the defenseman spinning around and losing his footing. But Dan, a 3-0 lead for Maryville.
Yeah, all you can do is applaud the Saints at how well they've done in all facets of this game thus far.
Barrett shot, save, rebound, loose, it's cleared, and back out. Now you just got to plug away. You got a couple of goals here before the end of the period, and it's a different hockey game. Here's Barrett across the line, behind the net. Gives it up the middle, nobody there but Saints. Ice Bears steal. Bratton will work it down low. Tries to get it to O'Brien, he does. 8:35 to go in the period. To the point, it's out to center, and it'll be Barrett to regain for Missouri State to Derek Smith. Smith's pass sent down in low. 9:26 to go. Puck cleared to the corner. And here is Brian Fuller back behind his own net. Puck held in on side apparently. And still in the Missouri State zone. I believe that was Gagnon that held that one in. Ice Bears are able to clear it out. And it was actually 98, Kubanek, not 8. Ice Bears to work the puck. Fuller with it. Fanned on his shot. Fuller is there, but it's a 2-on-2. Shot in up high that misses wide for the Saints. Rye missed that one. Lohman throws a check. A broken stick, which means that Kemmer has to go to the bench. Maryville with possession, they shoot. Blocker save, Shuck. Ice Bears with Lohman, backhands it. Can't clear it. Up the middle, Ice Bears scrambling, shot in, save, Shuck, rebound. It's to the left point, Bonnet with it. He shoots, blocked in front, save and a rebound, score, and Carnegie gets his second. Or Karinji will get his second goal of the game. And Dan, there was so many lapses in coverage for Missouri State, even with Maryville being a man down, who had to go to the bench to get another stick.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Steve. Missouri State's defense leaving a man wide open there, just defenseman standing flat-footed, out of position, and I think that's kind of defined how this game has gone for the Ice Bears. Is just a lot of lapse in judgments, a lot of defensive mishaps, and that's why they're down by 4 right now.
We'll catch this one here in just a moment. Meanwhile, it's another rush. Ice Bears finally are able to break it up, and we come the other way. Here is Bell. Bell with it. He shoots right into the midsection of Coffee. He'll hold on.
Saints goal, they're scored by number 12, Damian Karingi. Assisted by number 73, Cole Bonnet. Time of the goal at 12:54 of the second period, scored by number 12, assisted by number 73. And fans, don't forget, time is running out to visit the Ice Girls and pick up your pucks for our second intermission.
So his 8th of the season for Karinji. Well, since we have stoppage and play, we'll take a look at it. This is how everything materialized. After the rebound with the Ice Bears scrambling, it's just tucked underneath the fallen Shuck. It is a 4-0 lead for Maryville. .6:32 to go. Cooley in the zone, shot. It's tipped and taken away by Maryville. Keep in mind, this is a roster of 20 freshmen, and they get another one in front. Shot, save, score! It's 5-0, and this one is Jack Harrison. And Missouri State has broken down completely defensively, and we're going to get a new goaltender. Brady Griffin's coming in.
I don't know if you can really fault Shuck, Steve, for a lot of these goals that have been given up. It's one thing after the other, defensive lapse after defensive lapse. And it looks like a timeout's going to be called.
Timeout, Missouri State.
To see for Missouri State, just to see if they can essentially try rallying the troops. But like I said, Steve, it's just a defensive lapse after a defensive lapse for Missouri State. Harrison with his 5th of the year, just pouring it on for the Saints right now.
We'll take a look at this one. And again, it is just a defenseman not able to clear, really not in position to clear. And Harrison with goal number 5. So for Missouri State, who trails 5-0 in this hockey game, not good for rankings.
And I think we had talked about this a little bit during the intermission, Steve. It kind of reminded us a lot of the first game against Colorado, or the second game, against Colorado this year. And if memory serves me right, wasn't that a 5-0 deficit at one point then as well?
It was, and just nothing going right for Missouri State, similar to what it is right now.
Robert Harrison, assisted by number 9, Cole Mudra, and number 14, Christian Alvegran. Time of the goal at 13:45 of the second period, scored by number 5, assisted by number 9 and number 14.
That's the official call there. Harrison, his 5th. And it's 5-0. Shots are 20-14. And new goaltender Brady Griffin comes in. So the southpaw, senior Brady Griffin, in 8 games, 3-5-1, 3.76 goals against average, and a .909 save percentage. Puck all the way down into the Missouri State zone. Icing is the call. 4:57 to go. Well, Dan, you kind of feel if you can get maybe 2 goals before the end of this period, which is a tough stretch for Missouri State, not getting very many quality shots on net. But if you could get 2 goals, it's obviously going to be a little better in the third period than trying to now. You have to at least score 6 to win this hockey game.
Yeah, but it all starts with just getting the momentum to begin with, Steve. As long as they can get something going offensively, heck, even defensively, get some sort of momentum going, that'll be a start for what they need to accomplish.
Barrett had his pass taken away, and now here's Smith pushing his man. Smith again pushing Henson down, but we're going to get a hand pass. So that'll bring it outside the zone. .435 to go in the period, a 5-0 lead. For Maryville. Heiserode off the draw, able to clear it, but it's sent right back in. Heiserode chased, and it just got over to Lounder. And now Lounder on the third effort is able to clear to Bratton. Nobody there for Missouri State. It's been all Maryville, and the Saints, well, they're marching right now. Ice Bears chasing the puck again. It's in the Ice Bears zone. Boudreau is there, looking for an opportunity to the right side. Salnikov is there to break it up. Down in low to Rye. Near side board, Salnikov lets Bratton take it. Nikita playing his first game in about a month. Puck is cleared to the corner. When Nikita last played, he was the leading scorer for Missouri State with 6 goals and 2 assists. Now the leading scorer for the Ice Bears is Josh Bell, 6 goals and 19 assists. Fans getting impatient. They're yelling, "Let's go Bears." 3:20 to go in the period. Lounder waits. Matt Matty skates through. Lounder to Heiserode. Off of Matty's stick. Too far for him. Swept away, and Lounder will regain. Skies it up to center. Tipped away by Lohman of Missouri State. Lohman gets a penalty called on him. Delayed. Here come Maryville in front end. Save by the new goaltender, Brady Griffin. And it's held on to by Griff, but we're going to get a penalty. And I believe this might be a charge. I think he left his feet, and then they might call charging on it.
That would have been my first inclination. Steve Lohman's been trying to be that guy to kind of spark this team a little bit defensively, and we've seen him have a couple skirmishes after the whistle, this time a little bit too late. And I'm kind of curious at this point if the referees might be discussing the length of the penalty at this point, because it looks like the Saints player is still down on the ice getting treated by the trainer.
Well, I don't know if you got that. I'm going to look back and see if you got that on video or not. Let's see if we can take a look at it here.
It looks like that's Cole Bonnet skating gingerly to the bench, kind of got his bell rung a little bit after the puck had been passed around the boards. And
we'll take a look at it. This is where it starts, and he had his head down, and Lohman just jumped into him. I would think just two. Oh no! He's gone. So I'm not exactly sure unless they do give him more than two.
I thought I saw somebody in the box put up a 5, but we'll see if that ends up changing. But at any rate, and it looks like it did get changed to a 5-minute major for Lohman, so things just going from, I don't want to say from bad to worse, but for whatever is worse than worse for Missouri State at this point in the game.
So 5 minutes assessed to Lohman, and we'll catch the call from Kevin Thorough. Maybe it's just 5, I don't know. But Missouri State has a 5-minute major to kill off. Meanwhile, they're the ones with possession. Ice Bears have scored.
Missouri State penalty to number 11, Henrik Lohman. A 5-minute major for head contact and a game misconduct. Time of that penalty at 17:09 of the second period. A 5-minute major for head contact and a game misconduct.
Well, that means Missouri State has 15 minutes in penalties already. Here they come. They're going to work it shorthanded. A shot in, saved by Coffey. Move to the corner. I was about to say Missouri State has, on the penalty kill, 2 shorthanded goals for this season. And they're 13 for 62, 79.3% that they've killed. Puck back in. Brady Griffin stops it there. And the Ice Bears having trouble. Near side. Saunders. He gets pulled down, no penalty. And 3:38 to go. There's 1:27 remaining in the period. It's a 5-0 lead for Maryville. Saints this season coming in at 6-12-1. .109 to go in the period. I do not want to be a fly on the wall to find out what head coach Jeremy Law, as the rebound comes in by Prexler and it's held on to by Griffin. I don't know what Jeremy Law is going to be saying to this hockey club. What would you say, Dan?
This is why I'm not a coach, because I'm kind of at a loss for words for where Missouri State is right now. But I would start with the defensive lapses in judgment thus far. Just too many plays for Maryville coming from not penalties, but turnovers from Missouri State in the defensive zone. I would start with that and work your way up.
41 seconds to go. Power play is 2:46. It will carry over. It's a major, so it will carry over into the third period for Maryville. They're going to work the puck. Bonnet drive, missing up high and wide. Kubinick, he's able to keep it in. It will be to Kubinick. Bonnet, shot in, save, rebound, move to the corner, and it is cleared all the way down with 10 seconds to go. Quickly, Coffey gets it up to center. Heiserot's there, comes in with 2 seconds. Here is Carnegie, but he's not able to get a shot off as he passed it over. 5-0 Maryville, and this is a very, very quiet Ice Bears crowd. We came in at shots at 10-4. We now are 23-14. Missouri State only put 10 on Coffey and 13 on a combination of Brendan Shuck and Brady Griffin. So 23 total shots. In this period, after it was 2-0, Rye gets his first, Hunter with the assist, and it's 3-0. Then Carnegie gets his 8th, Bonnet with the assist. That's on the rebound that beat Shuck. And then Harrison will get a goal that chases Shuck. And again, this is a defenseman that had possession of the puck, and he left it free. And it was put in by Harrison, his 5th of the season. Muldra, and the other assist goes to Alvegren, and it's 5-0 after 40 minutes of play, actually. It seems like it's longer than that, Dan. I think that second period was obviously a period that Missouri State, you thought the first period they wanted to have back. Now it's the second period they want to have back too. Just, again, nothing really going well for Missouri State.
Yeah, just one of those, this is one of those games that you would soon really like to forget. Obviously, there's still 20 minutes to play in this hockey game. And like I said, and I think we've touched on it numerous times, Steve, just the defensive lapses in their own zone for Missouri State's kind of left Shuck out to dry. I don't blame Coach Law for pulling him in that scenario to put Griffin in just to see if that would boost some sort of spark for Missouri State. But it's one of those things, too, where right after that happened, you see Lohman go to the box for charging, and there's still going to be 2 minutes and 8 seconds left on that penalty going into this third and final period.
And that was one that I don't know necessarily. I think he gets what he gets because of the head being down, but I really don't know necessarily if or how flagrant it was, if that makes any kind of sense. I'm going to see if we can slow it down and get a better look at it. Let's take a look at it here. So there comes Lohman. So, okay, yeah, the head is down, and I would agree with the assessment of that penalty.
It's one of those things you have to know where you are on the ice if you're Lohman, what the position of the player is, and obviously, and I can't tell from where I'm at, but it's one of those things where if memory serves me right, and it kind of kills me more often than it doesn't, but the puck was away from the play, and like I said, you have to realize where you are on the in the ice to make a judgment on whether you want to go further with a hit like that. And obviously Lohman did, and obviously he's done for the night.
Yeah, the puck was actually moved out of the zone just at a couple of seconds before being hit. So,
and I understand if you're Lohman wanting to spark the team somewhat to see if they can get anything going, but I don't think that's the right way of going through with it.
Well, it is a 5-0 lead. Alvergren's third at 17 seconds of the first, and you kind of knew what this night was going to be like, possibly with some foreshadowing there. Caringi's seventh at 17:38 of the first. Then in the second, 8:25, Rye his first, 12:54. Caringi his eighth and second of the game, and then Harrison his fifth at 13:45. And it's 5-0. We're going to take a break, and Dan did not really plan any interviews, so Chris Perry is the commissioner for the Western Collegiate Hockey League. That's the league that Missouri State is in, but also he is the commissioner for the league that the Maryville Saints are in. He's kind of their adopted commissioner in the MCHS. So
yeah, from what I've heard, that kind of fell into his lap a little bit. And with him taking over, I know, I'm sure he's got quite a bit on his plate to work between two different ACHA conferences, but I'm sure he enjoys doing it.
And he's a lawyer by trade, too. A lot of work goes on. Plus, he has a podcast, too, the WCHL podcast, as Chris Perry.
He does too darn much.
He does.
I don't know I don't know how he does it with what limited time he has.
I don't either, but we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have that interview with Chris Perry in just a moment. 5-0 after 40 minutes of play. Maryville leads Missouri State.
This is Barrel Bob, MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. You'll be seeing more of me as the weather warms up. Crews will be working on our roads. That means lanes will be closed for construction and maintenance work on our highways. As you approach a work zone, please don't drive distracted. You need to pay attention. I want you and my friends working on the roads to all get home safely. Remember, buckle up and put down your phone. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Back at Jordan Valley Ice Park, the Stan Melton Ice Arena. Steve Casson now with the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League, Chris Perry, is joining us. Chris, thanks so much for making the trek down. I don't believe you may have come last year, but if you did, I kind of don't remember it.
I don't think I snuck into the Jordan Valley Ice Park last year.
I don't think you did.
Sorry to say, I couldn't get in.
It was the other name, but
whichever way, they would not let me in. I did not make it. Yeah. So, but here I am.
You are, and I think you probably saw, and I know for Ice Bear fans, they really don't want to be reminded of it, but I think you saw one of the most unbelievable games yesterday.
That was wild, wasn't it? Holy smokes, 5 minutes to go, 4 goals in the last 5 minutes. I know it was not how Missouri State fans wanted it to turn out, but just from the casual, objective observer, wow, what a game! What a game!
Unbelievable.
That's what college hockey's all about. What a game! You know, they never give up, and it showed. Wow.
Well, and I think I texted you. I said, you've got a lot of fodder for your podcast. You do a podcast.
I do a cheesy little podcast. It's called the WCHL Podcast. You can find it on iTunes and SoundCloud. Me and my doofus buddy, Andrew, we get together and we laugh and giggle and poke each other in the ribs, and we talk all about the week that was in the Western Collegiate League. We talk about the week that's coming ahead. We talk. I kind of have some insight every now and then into the ACHA and what's going on, and so we talk about that. I drop some nuggets of knowledge there, and then we just have a good time. It's just two kids, two dopes sitting around a microphone and having a good time, and so I'll have a lot of fodder to talk about for sure.
Well, and I joke about this, but you're the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League. You just took on as kind of interim commissioner for a newly formed league.
That's correct.
You were the ACHA secretary for a while.
Yeah.
Actually, you were dual role in helping out in some other issues there.
Yes.
And you have your regular law practice.
Yes.
And I just wonder, how come your wife, what does she think about all this
stuff? She thinks I'm an absolute idiot, and she thinks I'm crazy, and why do I do this? But, Steve, it's the reason why you're doing this. It's the reason why Jeremy's coaching and why Stan Melton is still involved. We have a deep passion for this game and for the ACHA, and for you guys, it's for Missouri State. For me, it was the University of Oklahoma. But we adults.
Well, it's not us.
We're not in this. No. I'm sorry. I just saw the campus for the first time today, and all my times being up here, I just drove through the campus. It's a beautiful campus, wonderful, lots of great facilities. But no, we do this. We're not in this for the money at all, because there is no money in it. We're in this for the passion of the game and for the kids. It's just absolutely wonderful. And these kids do a great job. They are true student athletes. They're paying their way through school. They're paying their way to play hockey, and they deserve as much support and as much backbone, as much enthusiasm, and as much publicity as we can possibly get them. And so that's why I do this. I don't have my son does not play hockey. My daughter does not play hockey. And so I don't have a skin in the game, other than I love the game, and I love these colleges, including Missouri State, Steve. And so it's a labor of love.
But you do also have an awesome wife to let you do this, so that's the big key.
She is the best. She is the absolute best. I can't believe she's here with me now on this trip up to Springfield.
Yeah.
Normally she would just say, give me the thumb out of the house and say, see you later, Joker. And but she decided to come along, and she's absolutely awesome, and I could not be able to do this without her.
Chris Perry is joining us, the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League. When you envisioned, still getting over a cold, but when you envisioned the Western Collegiate Hockey League, did it turn out to be everything you wanted it to be?
At first, yeah, it did, and now it's turned out to be a lot more. Because at first we were just looking for a little conference that would work for the 2 Oklahoma schools. We had tried for the longest time to get into the Central States Collegiate League with Lindenwood and Illinois and Iowa State. And after about the third time of getting the door slammed in our face, we said, okay, we get the message. And so we decided to form our own little conference. And it was myself and Craig McAllister with Central Oklahoma. And we went to... we talked. We knew the 2 Arizona schools were already Division I, and I had spoken with both Colorado State and Colorado, so we worked those guys into it. And then, I got a phone call from Stan Melton a year after our conference started up, and he said, "Hey, let's add Missouri State and Arkansas to the mix." And so we did, and it's worked out great. 8 teams for a couple of years, and now we're getting ready to. We've lost a team. In terms of Arkansas, they've focused exclusively now on Division III, and we wish them the best. I understand they're killing it down there at that level. They should be, with a bunch of D1 players sandbagging at Division III. But now we're going to add 3 more teams next year, so it'll be a 10-team division, and 2 5-team, 10-team conference. I'm sorry, and 2 5-team divisions. So yeah, it's really turned out to be a lot more than I expected.
And that's the thing too, where you look at this league and you look at 3 national championships from this league.
That helps.
Definitely helps. And the teams that come in, I know that one of the things that you said, and there's going to be an expansion next year, there's going to be an expansion with some teams coming in.
That's correct.
And I know that one of the teams that we've always wanted to play, now we actually get to play them, is UNLV, is coming in. And Grand Canyon, who will, I know, I'm releasing a little bit of the schedule, but we're going to play them at home next year. Yep. So one of the things that I know in talking to you, that you did not want to expand unless you were, in your mind, guaranteed good competition.
Well, that's sure. We had 8 strong teams. We had 8 strong brand names. I mean, our weakest brand name in the conference was our best team at the time, Central Oklahoma, national champions. And so we did not want to water that competition down. Part of the strength of our conference is the strength of schedule that our conference schedules bring. And so if you're winning or if you're playing a Western Collegiate Hockey League a slate of games, you know that you're playing top quality competition in the ACHA night in, night out. There's no East Handkerchief State that's out there that where it's point night. We don't have that in the Western Collegiate League. The snots? Yes, they are. The snot is their mascot. You don't want to see them. But in adding Grand Canyon and in adding UNLV and in adding Utah, we add brand names, established Division I programs, and some top competition. So The Arizona schools will be over. Arizona and Arizona State will have GCU, Utah, and UNLV on their side. On this side of the conference, there'll be Missouri State with the 2 Oklahoma schools and the 2 Colorado schools. What the 2 Arizona schools get in terms of savings on their travel budget, they're going to lose in terms of strength of schedule, because Missouri State and Colorado State and Oklahoma and Central, they're all ranked.
Yeah.
Or if not, they're pretty darn close to being ranked, whereas Grand Canyon and Utah are they're still, finding their legs, if you will, in the world of men's ACHA Division I hockey.
Well, every team had to kind of find their footing, and Missouri State had to do the same thing too. The great thing that is appreciative, I know, from our organization, is we're talking to Chris Perry, the head coach.
Don't do that to me, Steve.
No, he's not the head coach, but you have been a head coach. But no, he is the commissioner. I don't know where that came from, of the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League.
Yep.
But I've called you all sorts of different things, so
that's yes, you have.
That's a good one there, right? But one thing that Missouri State has to be appreciative of is not only were they led into the Division I ranks, but one of the stipulations to be led into the Division I ranks is, do you have a conference?
Yep.
And the WCHL was nice enough to say, you know what, I think you're ready. I think you guys have got it.
It made sense. It had to make geographic sense. A couple of criteria. You want to be competitive. It had to make geographic sense. You were within the footprint, and we had to know about the quality of the off-ice organization. You couldn't be a gong show off the ice, and so Missouri State ticked all those boxes as well as Arkansas did, and so we, it wasn't. It was an easy decision, Steve, to make. It was a very easy decision, and so it also helps when you're new to Division I if you do have a landing place for you, and that's why you had mentioned this other conference I have. I jokingly call it the B conference, but it's not. It's called Midwest College Hockey. It's based more out of St. Louis, with Maryville, McKendree, Waldorf, Northern Illinois, Illinois State, and Midland, and they're all good schools. But 5 of those 6 schools weren't in the ACHA. But they needed the conference, and so we formed a conference. They had a landing spot. We got them a place, and then they needed some doofus to lead them, and here I am.
You said that. I didn't say that.
Yep.
But and that's the one thing that I will say. We talk about Stan Melton, who is the kind of the founder, the godfather of hockey here in Springfield. He was always sending out messages, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. All the time he was sending out messages, but the one thing I like about you, and I don't know if it's due to pity or what, but the one thing I like about you is if I call you, if I got an issue, I know I can call you, and if you're available, you're answering the phone. Hey, what do you got? What do you need?
And if not, I call you right back.
Exactly, and that's something you don't get from a lot of commissioners.
That's right.
And I can tell you right now, from everybody that's listening also, that I absolutely appreciate that 110,000%, because there are times when I have needed your answer right then and there, and that's going to make a decision that affects this hockey club, and I get it from you.
Before I came in here just now to talk to you, Steve, I received a phone call and a text from a team in the other conference that has an issue, and I interrupted the conversation I was having with some folks, and we took care of it right then and there, because I recognize that our teams are playing games right now, and they need answers. They're not calling me just to shoot the bull.
Yeah, hey, how'd that Missouri State game go yesterday?
Nobody calls on Friday or Saturday just to check in and see how things are going.
Yeah.
They have an issue and they need a response immediately, and so I try to be very cognizant and aware of that. My wife looks at me cross-eyed when I answer the phone at 12:30 at night, but it has to be done.
She understands. And so the big key is now, what's the big cool place that you're going to take her to as a big thank you for the type of person she is?
Well, you're going to get me in a lot of trouble here, because I don't really have a place like that lined up.
Oh, well.
I was thinking maybe, Naples, Florida, or St. Louis, or maybe down to Frisco, Texas for the national tournament. But they all seem to have a hockey bent to it, and I don't know that she would want that.
Yeah, it'll be like, nice thought, but thanks. It's because it involves hockey.
Yeah.
I got that when I was dating some people too. Yeah.
I'm eager to get her down to Frisco, Texas for the national tournament, because that's going to be another. The event last year was very good, and I'm eager to get back down there. I'll be down there again on Tuesday to meet up. I'm still semi-involved with the ACHA, and they're still trying to reel me back in on a semi-official basis. So I'm eager to get back down there. I'm eager to see Missouri State and Arizona and this Arizona State team and Central and hopefully Oklahoma. I think we have a good chance of getting 5 teams this year from our conference into the national field.
It'd be very nice. Well, Chris, when I always end interviews with players, I always wish them more goals. So in this case, I'm going to say I wish that you do kind of get back with the ACHA, because I liked it when you could tell me some cool stuff going on before anybody else. And that was always nice. So, Chris, but seriously, though, thank you so much for what you do, not only for the WCHL, but for the ACHA, for answering my phone calls, and for generally being an awesome guy, and for showing me that roadcaster that I really, really want to get.
It's a brand new toy that Andrew and I use on our podcast. It's pretty awesome. So thank you for the nice words, but Steve, thank you for all that you do here for Missouri State Hockey. I was talking to the godfather himself, Stan Melton, and we were talking about how blessed Missouri State is to have you and your production and Web Sports Radio. It's you put on a top-notch production, and they don't know how good they have it in Steve Casson here at Missouri State. So thank you for all that you do.
I appreciate it. We better cut this interview short now before we all start crying. Right?
Yeah, whatever.
All right, Chris Perry, thanks so much. He is the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League. Thanks so much for doing this. We'll take a break, be back. More hockey coming up in a moment.
Hey, Missouri! Barrel Bob here. I'm MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. I see a lot of distracted drivers in work zones not paying attention to the road. Distracted driving is the #1 cause of crashes. The average text takes 5 seconds to read. At 55 miles per hour, you could travel the length of a football field blindfolded. Don't take the chance. I want you and my friends working on the roads to get home safely. Please buckle up and put your phone down.
A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Let's head for the third period. Here's Steve Casson.
Well, Dan, earlier you talked about Nikita Solnikov and said, what do you think Nikita's going to do? Is he going to jump out kind of hot? Is he going to take a while to get adjusted? So I'm going to ask you again, what does Missouri State need to do? Do they need to jump out? Or do they need to get well adjusted?
Well, the first thing they've got to do is kill off the remaining 2 minutes and 8 seconds of this major penalty, and at the very least, if they're able to try to take advantage of their shorthanded play. It looked like towards the end of that second period they were trying to cherry pick a little bit to be a little bit more aggressive.
Well, quickly the Saints come in with Starvu, and it's deflected away and sent up, and it will stay in the zone, though. It came off of an Ice Bear and into the bench. So 1:49 now remains in the power play. And a 5-0 lead for Maryville. Yes, if you just joined us, it is 5-0 Maryville Saints. A team that is ranked right now at number 46. Missouri State ranked number 22. Here come the Ice Bears, and Bell breaks free. Bell, right side, he's hooked up in front, shot, score! As the penalty was upcoming, Bell was able to get it to Cooley, who was the trailer. So Missouri State gets the goal. They will also be on the power play as Cooley finishes things off after Bell comes racing in. And what a look by Bell to find Cooley.
When he paid the price after the fact too, Stephen, that's why we're going to be going 4-on-4 here in about 1:35. But as you had mentioned, Steve, a great play by Bell, able to use his speed, and one of the rare times that Maryville's had a lapse in defensive judgment tonight. Bell able to use his speed, get behind the defense, and after the initial shot is stopped, able to find Cooley in front with a brilliant pass, and finally, Missouri State is on the board.
And that is a shorthanded goal for Missouri State. There's still, now we're 4-on-4, but at the time of that goal, it was shorthanded. And so now, for another 1:13, it's a 4-on-4 situation. Here come the Ice Bears again. Here's a backhander by Bratton, missing wide. It'll go over to Barrett. He's going to work it down low to Bratton. Let's catch the call.
Goal scored by number 24, Hunter Cooley. Assisted by number 16, Josh Bell. Time of that goal at the 34-second mark of the third period. Scored shorthanded by number 24, assisted by number 16.
Score again. After Cooley gets the goal, the Ice Bears get another one. And I think I erred when I said it was Bell's 7th. It's not. It's Cooley's 10th. But let's take a look at this one. And I believe it's going to be the guy that hasn't played in a while, Nikita Salnikov, that will get the goal.
Yeah, it is, Steven. I was just about to say, had we had a moment of time, the first minute and a half of this third period, Missouri State has a pep like no other pep in their step. With
a penalty on the plate to Maryville, number 26.
Go ahead, Dan. They're just announcing the penalty there.
It's like it's a brand new team for the first minute plus of this period. Missouri State able to use their as we'll get the goal here.
Assisted by number 12, Travis Barrett. Time of that goal at 1:26 of the third period. Scored by number 90, assisted by number 12. That's the Missouri State Ice Bears!
As I was saying, Steve, just a different team for the first minute plus of this period, but going back to that goal, Missouri State using their speed once again, able to get into the zone. Granted, it was a 2-on-2, but Nikita Salnikov doing Nikita Salnikov things with a perfectly placed wrist shot that beats Coffee, and all of a sudden it's just a 3-goal deficit.
And that was a 4-on-4 goal. There's now 19 seconds left, and the Ice Bears will have their first power play. Bell gets slammed into the boards, kicks away from that, and now Missouri State with possession in their own zone. Now they know they can score. It's 5-2. Maryville leads. You get another one, and this is going to have this place rocking. Power play now, 20 seconds remaining. Number 3 for Missouri State. Lead to Salnikov. It is cleared. Dan, that's what I get for eating a cookie. Getting the hiccups now. Stan Melton rented the Bears den, and I grabbed a couple of cookies. Shouldn't have done that. Bratton lost the puck. Into the Missouri State zone. To the right of Brady Griffin. Griffin did not start this contest. It was Shuck. Gave up 5. Now here come the Ice Bears again. Bratton. Broken up by Kubnik. Near side boards. And O'Brien steals. Zane with it to Bratton. Now Missouri State playing like they can. A shot missing wide by Lounder. Rebound off the boards. And it's held on to by Coffey. So Dan, this first 3 minutes and 7 seconds has seemed like the Missouri State team we should have saw in the first period.
Yeah, I don't think you can hit the nail more spot on the head, Steve. I think we all kind of expected this is what Missouri State was going to look like for the start of this game. But at any rate, they still have some work to do, down by 3 with just under 17 minutes to go in regulation.
Held down in low. O'Brien off of his stick. And we come the other way. Could this be one of the greatest comebacks for Missouri State? They have come back from 5 goals before. It's been a while, though. But it's not been against a Division I squad. Barrett will send it in. Ice Bears with a line change. Nobody there. Grabbed by Maryville and helped by Tim Rye all the way down. And the Ice Bears will set things up out of their own zone. 16-17 to go. You get another one here, and everything looks really peachy. But you got to get it quick. Here's Salnikov. Dipsy Doodle down the middle. He shoots. Picks up his own rebound behind the net. Broken away from him by Trevor Henson. To the point. It is off Chris Brown. He can't touch it. It's a delayed offside. and it's into the Missouri State zone, sent all the way in, where it'll be Brown to regather. Up now to Brackbill. His shot blocked. Brackbill pushes. Ice Bears with another line change. Kicked out to center. And a lead pass into the Missouri State zone. The only one there for the Ice Bears is Derek Smith. He intercepts. It's out to center. Spencer Sollenbach to chase. It's back in the Missouri State zone. 15:22 to go. Brackbill all the way down. No icing. Brackbill pushes his man. Now Baldwin to regain. Back to Brackbill. Up the middle. Breaking through is Sollenbach. He's upended. No penalty. Play continues. It is out to center. And Smith for Missouri State. Across the line, 3-on-3. Smith into the glove of Coffey. He'll hold on. 14:57 to go in the third period.
It almost seems like, Steve, like this is just a mirror image, or I guess like a reverse image of what we've seen in the first two periods. Maryville looks like they've been on their heels most of the first 5 minutes of play here in this third period. And Missouri State is the one that's been flying and the one that's actually prevented a lot of offense for Maryville.
Delayed offside. The Ice Bears will clear the zone. 14:48 to go in the period. Puck all the way down to the Missouri State zone. Do we get the icing? We do. A slow one, but it is called icing. And Missouri State will have the advantage. Face-off will come back into the Maryville end of the ice.
Missouri State with the top line out of Bell, Rubin, and Cooley. They've been able to generate a little bit of pressure as we had seen with the first goal, or the shorthanded goal with Cooley and Bell. The Bell tandem there, and they're looking to do that again right now.
Off of Rubin's stick after the face-off and out to center ice. And Lounder got beat. Here comes Jack Harrison. Harrison around the boards. Gets it over to Christian Alvegren. Now at the half boards again, stolen by Bell and coughed up, but Lounder is there. Fanning on it are a couple of players for each side, and now out to Cooley. He'll set things up. 14:07 to go in the period. We're going to get a penalty. Bell draws one. Cooley with it. Delayed call. Cooley with a shot. Sent down in low to Rubin. Back to Cooley, and now it's touched up. Penalty for slashing, and Missouri State will go on the power play.
And once again, Steve, it's Bell that's drawing the call. And it's going to the box as Bonnet, and he's looked like he's going to get an extra 10 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct for kicking the puck away from the linesman or referee. But at any rate, Bell able to draw a penalty as he was trying to get into the zone. And once again, Missouri State with a power play opportunity to see if they can get some more of this deficit trimmed away.
So with the extra 10 that's been tacked on, 4 penalties, 16 minutes now for the Saints. Missouri State 2 penalties and 15 minutes. Remember, Lohman is gone with the 5-minute major, so immediately off the draw in the Saints zone, it'll go with another face-off as Coffey made the save. Bratton will come in for Missouri State. I tell you who it is. So it's Gagan off the draw. The Ice Bears have it. Too far for Bratton. And cleared all the way down by Trevor Henson. So 1:41 now for Missouri State. They get a goal here, and there's plenty of time. Barrett racing right side across the line, tipped away from him, and cleared. Fans getting impatient right in front. Not happy with Barrett losing the puck. Now Salnikov working the power play. Salnikov down the right side, taken away by Henson and cleared. That is the third straight time he has taken a puck away from an Ice Bear forward who's rushing.
Yeah, that's just about to say, Steve. Henson's stick has been magnificent on the early stages of this penalty kill thus far. Missouri State with no pressure in the offensive zone.
Bratton now to Bell. Lost it. Bell through his skates, taken away and cleared. And Missouri State is not able to move anything past the blue line. Great pressure by Maryville. Comes up to Sollenbach across the line. Nice move as he gets to Rubin. In front to Cooley, backhander save. Cooley again with it. Trying to work it left side. Cooley, head fake, still with it. Drops it off to Bell left side. Bell now to Rubin. He's got a chase and he can't keep it in. And Rubin has to come all the way back to his own zone as he kicked it. 21 seconds remaining in the power play. Missouri State not able to get anything really set up. They do now to Cooley. Cooley with a pass back, and there was nobody there. Bell can't keep it in. Good play by Sollenbach. Brown down in low. Rubin in front to Cooley. Nobody there, and it's cleared, and that'll do it for the power play. And as it comes all the way down, it has to be held on to by Griffin, as there was a Saint right there on the doorstep.
Karinji there able to get around all the pressuring Ice Bears that were down towards the net trying to get a goal in the later stages of that power play, but nothing doing. A lot of credit to Maryville's penalty kill there, as I believe Missouri State only had one shot, and that was really their only major chance of that power play.
Missouri State has had a two-man advantage they scored nothing on, and now this power play they've scored nothing on. So they've had their opportunities. Oh, here shot comes in, and a save off the blocker of Griffin, and it goes up and out of play.
It looked like that was Stavros, Steve, with a wrist shot just from inside the face-off circle that Griffin was able to get a blocker on and deflect it out of play.
Saints win it again. Shot from the left side comes in by Kubanek. It's up the middle. Ice Bears can't clear. Kubanek again. He has some room. He shoots, and it's gobbled up by Griffin. He'll hold on. 26th shot now put on the board for Maryville.
And I think, Steve, we can also say, too, for Maryville, a nice adjustment in their play after those first initial Ice Bears goals to start off the period. They've been able to get this game back to their style of play and keeping Missouri State back on their heels a little bit more now, as we've got about 11 and a half minutes to go in regulation. Missouri State still trying to tie this thing up.
Off the face-off, it'll go to the far side. Ice Bears trying to work the puck. Bratton to Barrett. Barrett across the line in the zone, chased by O'Brien. Can't pick it up. Oh, stolen by Bratton. Good play there. Move behind the net. Ice Bears work it down in deep. Goes to the far side to Alvegren. Now lead pass. Comes to Vigors. He breaks free. Vigors shoots and a glove save. And we're going to get a penalty. The Ice Bears get called. As Vigors, it's a hooking call as Jared Vigors comes in with authority. And Sam Heiseroth will go to the sin bin.
Yeah, Vigors able to get between the two Ice Bears defensemen, one of those being Heiseroth, in which the call is on for hooking. Vigors able to get through and actually get a very good shot off, but Griffin was able to use his right-handed glove to make the stop, but now Missouri State has a penalty kill to look forward to.
That is the second power play now for Maryville. Remember, they had the first part of it on the 5-minute major. Shot in, missing wide. That one by Kubanek. And it is flipped up and cleared out to center. Cooley to race. Can't gain the line. Here come Maryville with Henson leading the charge, right side. Henson around the official. Pushed by Derek Smith. Official gets out of the way. Smith holds it up along the goal line. Down in low. Brown comes in. Smith works it. Spun behind. Now to the right side. Power play has 1:13. Maryville leads 5-2. If the Ice Bears get another one here, it's a different story. Derek Smith not happy that he got tripped. Puck in the zone. Watch out, though. Smith might get called. 55 seconds. Right side, it was open, but fluttered for a second. Now to the left side to Kabanek. He shoots, missing wide. Right side again. Julius Julison. Up the middle. Henson. Julison. They split time. Now Henson shot in, saved by Griffin. Rebound with 29 seconds to go. Ice Bears can't get possession. A backhander missing wide through the crease. Now here comes Bell to jump in and try to get things moving. Brown is there. Bell gets upended. Saunders spins around trying to block the puck, and he does. Now keeping it along the boards is Smith with 7 seconds to go. Maryville says, fine, we'll just change. And that'll do it. Power play is over. Heiseroth will go to the bench. Saunders, can he steal and clear? Yes, he does. It's out to center. And Missouri State desperately needed a change. 8:42 to go. Now we're getting down to nitty-gritty time. Jones, far side. Jones stops up, lost the puck, now gets a shot off, save Griffin. And it's Salnikov on the ice. Lead pass comes all the way down. Brackbill makes it no icing. Jack waits there, sends it over to the corner. Salnikov can't get to it. Grabbed by Carnegie. He has 2 goals. Puck off the side of the net. Here come the Ice Bears. 2-on-2. Salnikov down the middle. Salnikov, nice move with possession. Looking for somebody at the point. They get it to Bratton on the ice now. His pass intercepted. It's out to center. And here might be something for Starvu. Ice Bears try to get back. Starvu in front. He shoots. It goes behind the net. Ice Bears have it. Lead pass. It'll go to Brackbill. He carries it in the zone. No offside, but Missouri State with Houston to have possession. 7.5 to go. 5-2 Maryville. If the Ice Bears are going to start something, they're going to have to do it quick. They got 2 quick goals in this period at 34 seconds and at 1:26, and that's been it. At 34 seconds, shorthanded Cooley is 10th, and then Salnikov at 1:26, his 7th. Griffin to play it. Now the beeline on for Missouri State. Zane O'Brien, 2 goals, 7 assists. Maryville steals. Puck sent down in low. Ice Bears intercept. Jordan Bratton lost it. Now Lounder with a pass that is intercepted. Puck kicked in the zone. Here's a 3-on-2. A shot off to the right side. Score! The pass came from Biggers. It went to the right side, and Maryville has a 6-2 lead.
I think we'll have to go back to it again, Steve. Another defensive lapse from Missouri State. A very long, extended zone time possession for Maryville, and I think a lot of that had stemmed from a miscommunication between O'Brien and Heiseroth that was on the defensive, not getting the puck and eventually not clearing the puck, and Maryville doing a great job upping the pressure, increasing their lead back to 4 with just over 6.5 to go in regulation.
I believe it's Jens Julison that will get his 5th goal of the season on the doorstep for Maryville. Here in the 3rd period. And the Ice Bears, oh, what a huge save! The save of the game, maybe of this series, and it's not even finished yet, as Alex Rubin got a great opportunity, and Coffey split and made a right leg
Maryville
pad
goal scored
save.
by number 27, Jens Jalusin. Assisted by number 18, Jared Viggers, and number 14, Christian Alvegren. Time of the goal at 13:27 of the 3rd period. Scored by number 27, assisted by number 18 and number 14.
So it is indeed Juliuson with the goal, his 5th. Viggers and Alvergren. Well, Dan, if you break it down, you got to get a goal every minute and a half. Here's Baldwin. In front, Cooley with a drive. And it's through the pads of the goaltender.
In Missouri State, Steve, with a couple nice chances in the last couple of minutes. You had mentioned the save by Coffey on Ruben Bell, able to split the defense once again. Something he's been able to do quite well here in this third period, able to split the defense, feed Ruben with an open slot, but Coffey with a huge right pad save, and as you had mentioned, Steve, probably the best of the game thus far.
Good move by Starvu to jump over Saunders. And a 6-2 lead for Maryville. Across the line to Sollenbach. He lost it. Baldwin's there. Broken up from him. And not able to be kept in by the Ice Bears. Baldwin came from the Division III squad last season. Puck held onto by Griffin with 4:39 to go. So Missouri State, Dan, needs 4 goals. You've got about 45 seconds per goal to score.
Well, and as we've seen with the games against Arizona State, anything is possible in these stages of the game, but Missouri State's got to really up the pressure in the last 4.5 minutes here.
It was right about this time. And now we're going to have a little bit of time as Brady Griffin comes for some work. I don't know if it's tape to tape up his finger, but either way, it was whether it was planned or not, perfect. Gave the Ice Bears a little bit of a break, and they really didn't have a timeout to burn.
Yeah, they already used that in the first period after that second goal for Maryville, so stalling a little bit of time, getting a little bit more rest for his teammates was Griffin.
Now there's some crease work that needs to be done. Shots 28-20 in favor of Maryville, but they lead by the count of 6-2. And off the draw, the Ice Bears win it, but it's been controlled by the Saints. Shot in down the middle, and another save by Griffin. So a tough one here for Missouri State. And Dan, we noticed it like immediately when Missouri State really didn't get anything going in that first period. 17 seconds in, Maryville had the Ice Bears numbers. Puck sent down in low. Off the back of Zane O'Brien. It's cleared out to center. And the Ice Bears in their own zone. They'll try to work it. Comes to the corner, out in front, another save. And Maryville is all over Missouri State offensively, and the defense just cannot handle what Maryville's throwing at them, and it's really not much.
And I think a lot of that too stems from Missouri State trying to be very aggressive the last couple of minutes. A lot of forwards and defensemen up towards the other end of the ice as we have an icing call here against Maryville. But yeah, like you were saying earlier, Steve, it's one of those games where, and a lot of credit goes to the Saints, Missouri State is really, other than the first, I'd say 3 or 4 minutes of this period, you can't really look at a lot of sustained offensive pressure by the Ice Bears, and that's why they're down by 4 here late in this third period.
Matty will win the draw, chases on. It goes to the side of the net. Solnikoff to chip at it. 3.5 to go. Solnikoff shoots up high. It goes wide. Now Brown brings it back around. Solnikoff is there. Nikita playing his first goal in first game in about a month, got his first goal. His pass intercepted. Now here comes Carnegie. Carnegie, after a pass, gets a shot, and it scores! It went through the 5-hole of Griffin. It's 7-2.
And if that indeed is going to be Karinji's goal, that's the hat trick for him with a non-man rush for the Saints. A 3-on-2 going the other way. Karinji with the shot from the point, sneaks under Griffin's pad. He got a piece of it, but it looked like by the end he had moved his pad a little bit, and that caused the puck to go over the goal line and into the net.
And it was a sliding ice bear in front that I just don't think he saw. So if it is Karinji's goal, like you said, hat trick for him. Number 7, 8, and this should be number 9. And it's a 7-2 lead. And this will not bode well for rankings for Missouri State. We know what happened last year when the Ice Bears lost to Oklahoma, who at that time was ranked in the high 30s.
Maryville goal scored by number 13, Bradley Brudeau. Assisted by number 12, Damian Karingi. Time of that goal at 16:45 of the third period, scored by number 13, assisted by number 12.
I think we got both that wrong, Steve. It was 13, not 12. I thought it was 12.
So they're going to go with Boudreau getting his 5th. It's okay. I've gotten a few things wrong tonight, too. It's hard to read these numbers. But Karinji will get his first assist of the contest. He has 3 goals and an assist. And the Ice Bears put a little pressure on Coffey, and he'll hold on. Hard to believe Ed Coffey is a freshman out of Anchorage, Alaska. 6'6", 175.
And it kind of sounds like, Steve, that judging by the plethora of spots that Maryville has players from, John Hogan's doing a great job at recruiting, finding people from all over the place.
Yeah, Coffey played for the Bellingham Blazers of the Western States Hockey League. Here is Sollenbach with a shot tipped up high and wide. Sollenbach to chase his zone. Down in front to Saunders, less than 2 to go. Baldwin with it. And it is cleared to the point and out to center ice.
And you mentioned earlier, Steve, the youthness not only of the players on this team, but of the organization itself. Just the second year that that Maryville's been in existence, and it took them a year and a half, but it looks like at this point Maryville's going to get their first win at the Division I level against a ranked opponent in the top 25.
Bratton now up high to Lounder. Over to the corner. Back to in front. A drive by Bratton is covered up. Well, no. We're going to get a stoppage for penalties. That's what it is. And O'Brien is going to go. It's interesting because they're going to get both. It's a high stick and it's a slash. And the guy that was kind of taunting, saying, "Hey, you're going to go," for Maryville is the same guy that actually got called, and he's going to have to go too.
Yeah, and that's going to be Jared Vigors as we have a minute 19 remaining in regulation. Just a couple players battling for a position in front of the net, and both of them are getting called. One of those scenarios where either call them both or neither of them get called, but both of them going to the box at this point.
They're saying it's Kubanek who's going to get it. At least that's what's up on the scoreboard. So it's a 4-on-4. Ice Bears work it now. There's only 1:10 to go. Here is Barrett, drive in, save, rebound, Barrett again, and Bell will get it. Kick it over to Solnikov. Solnikov in front. Oh, what a save again as Brown had a great opportunity and a huge save by Coffey. Delayed offside, and now it gets called.
I think that was reminiscent of just earlier in the period, Steve, with Coffey's stop on Brown there, similar to Coffey's stop on Rubin.
Yep.
Using that right pad, pushing off on his left leg, able to go from his left to his right and get a huge stop in the dwindling moments of this hockey game.
52.3 seconds left. I'm not going to break it down.
About 1 every 10 at this point?
Something like that, yeah. It will not happen. Cooley gets pushed behind the net. Bratton is there to Cooley. And I'll tell you what, if Coffey plays tomorrow, Missouri State's going to have to figure him out. Brown with 35. He gets a shot in, save. Cooley's there, no doing. Brown lost an edge, out to center. Ice Bears keep the goalie in. Now Cooley with 21 seconds shoots it in. And Maryville will probably try to kill off as much time as they can. Henson, or actually Blessing. Jacob Blessing came from the Division II squad, and he's on the ice now. Puck is cleared in all the way, no icing, that'll do it for the third period. Missouri State loses by a count of 7-2, and as I mentioned, that will not be good for rankings. 11 shots on Ed Coffey in the third by the Ice Bears, 3-period total of 25, that is, and 7 on Brady Griffin in the third period. A 3-period total on Shuck and Griffin of 30 total for Maryville. Goals in the third period for Missouri State. Short-handed Cooley as Bell was getting hooked, and Cooley was able to poke it wide of the goaltender and in. And it was at that time 5-1. Then Nikita Salnikov makes it 5-2 just about 50 seconds later. And Missouri State all of a sudden has things going, but then it's Juliuson to get his 5th. Diggers with the assist. He was on the doorstep to make it 6-2. And then the hat trick by Caringi. And that's all she wrote for Missouri State. Dan, your thoughts on this? Well, hold on a second. Let's go down to public address announcer Kevin Thurl.
Player of the game, number 24 with 1 goal tonight, Hunter Cooley. And Hunter, if I may say so myself, in the midst of a game that you guys wish would kind of come out the other way, you did play a great game tonight. And kind of talk us through that goal. You know, you had a lot of good looks, but that one you decided to fire the puck.
Yeah, Josh Bell just got hooked up on a breakaway and left it back for me. All I had to do was tap it in.
It looked like, you know, some of the things we saw tonight were some passes that were maybe missed. We know that you are one of the great passers on the team, and it looked like some of that chemistry was just off. You give some of that to maybe Nikita coming back in the lineup tonight and just being a little off kilter?
I think we just need to bounce back. I don't think anything was really flowing smooth today. I don't think Nikita had much to do with it. He came flying, so we just got to get better tomorrow.
All right, and tell us what's it like to play, even on a game like tonight, playing in front of a group of fans like this that gets as loud as they do. And, of course, tomorrow we're going to be trying to be the loudest rink in all of the ACHA.
Yeah, it's awesome coming out here to the fans that support us each and every day. Hopefully tomorrow we can come out with a big W.
All right, fans, let's hear it for tonight's Steak and Shake player of the game with 1 goal, number 24, Hunter Cooley. Thanks, buddy.
So, Dan, your thoughts on this hockey game? It's interesting that Kevin used that question. Did Nikita come back, cause an issue here? I don't think it did. I think from the get-go, because he didn't start the game, and I think from the get-go, 17 seconds in, that set the tone for this game.
Yeah, exactly. And really, yeah, you got to give credit to Maryville for taking advantage of the opportunities they were given, but I think they honestly did a great job of having waiting for Missouri State to either cough up the puck or at some point kind of shoot themselves in the foot a little bit to cause all this havoc and make Shuck's night very interesting, make Griffin's night, especially in that third period, a little bit more interesting as well because they scored 2 goals on him in that third period. But like I said, hats off to Maryville come out with a great game and get their first win against a top 25 opponent in the ACHA Division I level.
Usually when I talk to players, they score goals. Now when I talk to coaches, they get unexpected wins. I'm not going to talk to any more visiting coaches anymore. It's not going to happen. I talked to Oklahoma's coach, they get a win. I talked to Central Oklahoma's coach, they get a win. I talked to Arizona State's coach, they get a win. It's probably a coincidence, but maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Our next broadcast will be Missouri State and Maryville. That's tomorrow, right here on Web Sports Radio, December 7th, D-Day. We hope you'll tune in for that one, 7 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 6:50. We'll start the broadcast at about 6:30 during warm-ups. But in this hockey game, not many penalties, but it added up as far as minutes because there were a couple of 10s involved. For Missouri State, 4 penalties, 19 minutes. 5 penalties, 18 minutes for the Saints. Power plays, Missouri State 0 for 4, and the Maryville Saints were 0 for 2. And the reason Missouri State 0 for 4 is because there's a couple of offsetting penalties that were just a couple of probably about 20 some odd seconds that caused that stat to be awry. But other than that, Missouri State does not gain the win. They are now even at 8-2 on the season. John Hogan's Maryville Saints are now 7-12-1 this season. That's going to do it from Jordan Valley Ice Park and the Stan Melton Ice Arena as the Ice Bears lose this game by a score of 7-2. For Dan Dowell, I'm Steve Casson. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. These same two teams, 7 o'clock. Until then, good night, everyone.
You've been listening to Missouri State Ice Bears Hockey with your host, Steve Casson. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Ice Bears Hockey is a presentation of DS Sports Enterprises and WebSportsRadio.com.